Okay, I think we're live. Let's see here. It's 1:20 in the morning. I'm 10 minutes late. Sorry, guys. All right, let's see here. It is we're half through March. That's awesome. It's 3/15, 2026. Let's see here. We have Lisa Joe's in the house. Good to see Lisa Joe. Always good to see Lisa Joe. I'm going to say goodnight now because I always forget you for some reason. I don't know. Sorry about that. We got Paula Fitzhenry in the house. Paula's here. Good to see Paula. Thank you very much for coming in. We got Mustangs here. Always good to see Mustang. Always good to see Paula too. Let's see here. We got Shibby's in the house. There's Shibby right there. Hope you had a good live tonight. Shibby's awesome. Shibby's doing great work on the Dale Warner case, and the D Warner case too. I think he was found guilty. Is that true? I haven't quite been following that case, but there's Southern Gal's here. Southern Gal is right there. Hey Dave, hey everyone. I'm on my phone tonight, so I won't be able to tag everybody. Are you okay? That's all right. If as long as you're okay, that's okay. Hope you're well, Southern Gal. Southern Gal's amazing. There's Mustang again here. Let's see. Beasley's in here. There's Beasley right there. Good to see Beasley. Let's Eddie Munson this thing. Let's do that. There's Heather Brown right there. Heather's in here. Good to see Heather. Hope Heather's doing well. Hope Southern Gal's doing well too. As we all know, I mean, Southern Gal's amazing. Dieter's in here. There's Dieter right there. Good to see Dieter. And Shibby is listening. Brain, not Brian. Brian, not Brian. All right. Brian Pinos is here too. Where is he? Somewhere in here. Dave, hey, hon, good to see you. I'm almost to St. Louis, so not sure if I'll lose service. All right. There's Brian right there. Good to see Brian. Always good to see everybody in here. Hold on, let me get rid of this here. A couple things before I go to my my intro. We had a couple issues here earlier this week. I'm not going to mention any names, but I do want to kind of, my cell service sucks tonight, so I couldn't get the computer to work. Oh, that's okay. As long as you're okay, that's fine. But anyways, it's always good to see Southern Gal in here and Shibby's in here. Feel free to throw your chats in here, your channels in here. Southern Gal's got a great channel. Paula Fitzhenry does great work. Doodles and Gray is here. Good to see Doodles. I think I know who that is. But anyways, if you guys have channels, feel free to throw them in the chat. Always going to promote creators. There's only just one person I'm not going to promote anymore. But my take on the whole thing is, unfortunately, you just don't know people. Unfortunately, people come in all shapes and sizes, but people also come in all, categories. But, it's just not allowed here or anywhere. I have absolutely no respect for anybody that contributes to that kind of behavior. So it's about all I'm going to say about that. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just not good. And just like I said, you think you know people. I don't trust anybody. Like I don't, especially when it comes to my kids. I don't trust anybody at all. So it's kind of like not a surprise to me. There's creepers everywhere. You just got to be careful. You got to be safe. And that's the bottom line there, right? You just got to be careful with things. But anyways, not going to ruin everybody's life with that. Always absolutely insane news to hear. I agree 100%. Because I have no respect for anybody like that. I just don't. It is what it is. You just don't trust your kid. All right, so let me play my intro. We're going to get going on things. I want to get into a couple of different cases that have been going on this week. I want to, of course, do the missing person case of the week. I think we're going to actually do two of those this week, and then we're going to do a cold case, and obviously we're going to get into the Nancy Guthrie debacle. But let me play my intro. Jocelyn's here. Good to see Jocelyn. Jocelyn's amazing. So let me play my intro and then we'll get going. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's had a good week. Let me see what I'm going to do here. All right, I'll be right back. Hope everybody's well, and we'll get going. Good to see. All right, so good to see Jocelyn. Good to see everybody. Let's see here. Shibby said something about my kids here. I definitely don't trust my kids with ice cream. Like if there's ice cream in this house, you better get to it first because if you don't, in about a day, it'll be all gone. You just can't do it. But anyways, okay. So, like I said, it's good to see everybody. I do want to cover the first thing I want to cover is something I wanted to cover last week. But I either must have forgot or but anyways, this is going to be kind of silly here. This is again, this happened here in this state, which is really weird. Hold on a second here. Let me share this here. Where did Hoodie Guy go? Have you guys ever heard of this guy here? So anyways,
he is Steve, and we don't know why he was here.
This guy's been back in the news. I don't know if you guys know who this is, but Hoodie Guy's back right here. All right, let me hide my face. That'll help. So anyways, this happened a couple of weeks ago now here in New Hampshire. This guy here, this is Cher's son. And I think he's Cher and Greg Allman's son, I think. I could be wrong. But he was caught here in New Hampshire, I think it was a couple weeks ago. And this stuff just doesn't get any more bizarre than this. So Elijah Blue Allman was arrested. This is a couple Sundays ago in Windham, New Hampshire, and is accused of breaking into a house on Ministerial Road through the back door. He was suspected of doing some other stuff around a school here called St. Paul's School. So let's play this here, but it wasn't too long. Look at all this snow here. This was just a couple of weeks ago here, all this snow. And if you look outside now, down here, these are gone, which is good. I know exactly where this is. All right, so here we go with this. This is, again, Cher's son, and I think it's Cher and Greg Allman's son. I could be wrong, but here we go.
Steve, and we don't know why he was here in New Hampshire or what he was doing specifically on this street. It's a quiet suburban area. There's a cemetery and a baseball field and family homes.
This stuff is too funny. You can't make this shit up. This guy is just such an entitled piece of crap. Thank you, Dieter. It's always good to see Dieter in here. Hope you're doing well. Jocelyn's in here again. Southern Gal's right there. Yeah, I'll have to look at. I'm pretty sure probably 1 million St. Paul schools in North America. Canada. You're not going on side, so go sit down. All right, so let's keep going here. Get
all
out.
the way down this
Pull it
street.
down.
Now, according to police, 49-year-old Elijah Blue Allman was arrested for a second time yesterday here in Windham for allegedly breaking into a house here on Ministerial Road through the back door. According to an affidavit, a woman called 911 as she was hiding in her closet. And when police got there, they found a glass pane for the back door had been shattered, and Allman was sitting on the couch smoking a cigarette. Police say that he told officers that the homeowner said that he was allowed to be there. This was the second time in 48 hours that he was arrested. Friday night, he was taken into custody at St. Paul's School up in Concord.
Okay, so just quick. So I'm not going to take you guys here. Just an overview of this guy here. He's actually a musician and a leader of a band called Deadsy. I'm pretty sure I've heard of that. I've actually probably heard of that before. He uses the stage name as P. Exeter Blue One. I don't know. He is the singer, son of singer actress Cher and singer songwriter Greg Allman. So that's what happens when you mix Cher and Greg Allman. You're going to get this.
Concord when officers found him in the dining hall. We did ask St. Paul's about the security concerns of Allman getting into the school. They told us at this point they have no comment. Between these two cases, he's facing a number of charges.
Allman Brothers are awesome. Like, he was born in 1976. Jeez, I thought he was older than that. I guess not, though. Somebody said something. Hold on a second. Miranda Lee's here. Good to see Miranda Lee. Yeah, he does look like his dad, for sure. He doesn't look like Cher at all. Yeah, the Allman Brothers are awesome. It's good to see Miranda in here. Always good to see you. Hope you're well. I hope Heather's well. Okay, too in here. Hope everybody's well.
Charges with simple assault, burglary, criminal mischief, and for violating his bail. For now, he will stay behind bars. And at this point, we don't know of any specific connection between Allman and New Hampshire. We saw in court paperwork an address that goes back to Malibu, California, for a home that's worth more than $16 million. For now, we're live in Windham, Ariel Metropolis, WMUR News.
That's too funny. Can't make this shit up, man. Let's play one more of this here because I just think this was. Apparently, he was walking around poking some of the college students with something. I don't know. It's just weird.
He was causing a disturbance, and
I used to go here to St. Paul's School. My son's basketball games, they used to play here in this auditorium in here.
being belligerent with staff members there.
New details are emerging about the incident and arrest of Elijah Allman, son of singer Cher and musician Greg Allman, at St. Paul's School in Concord on Friday. An email sent to families obtained by News 9 says Allman was allegedly poking at students and pushing staff members with his cane in the dining hall. The email also says Allman was posing as a prospective parent and allegedly gained entry to the dining hall by slipping in as students left.
At St. Paul's School, if you have children involved, it's we try to get there as quick as we can.
In a statement, St. Paul's School said the safety of students and staff is a top priority. Police say they believe a woman drove him to campus, but that is still under investigation. After Friday's arrest, Allman was released on PR bail. However, on Sunday, he was arrested again and accused of breaking into a Windham home. Allman gave police a Malibu, California address, and right now, it's unclear what he was doing in New Hampshire. ABC News reports that Cher had filed for a conservatorship of her son because she said that he suffered with severe mental health and substance abuse issues, but she eventually dropped that case.
Now, Allman is facing a number of charges, including misdemeanor assault, disorderly conduct, burglary. He's going to remain here in jail unless he agrees to pay a $1,000 fine and enroll in a residential.
Oh, I think the Allmans were from the Carolinas, right? Yeah, this guy's a little creepy. He was just sitting in her. He just basically busted into her house, and he was sitting in her living room, and she had to go hide in the closet until the cops came. Straight out of Compton, man. Heavy supposed to be storms tomorrow. Keep a lookout. What are you doing in Missouri? And why are you driving into Tornado Alley?
residential treatment program. Live in Brentwood, Alana Flood, WMUR News 9.
What is she doing in Brentwood? Maybe that's where they were holding her. Okay, so let's I just thought that was kind of silly. He's probably going to get a slap on the wrist and then be out on bail. I don't understand why you're in Missouri. Just stay safe. If you want me to check the forecast for you, I will. All right, so let's move on to something else. I do want to get into this case here. This is coming out of Indianapolis. Hold on a second here. While I pull this up here. This happened a few days ago. Hold on a second. Let me it's a long story. What happened to Dave? What do you mean, Dave? I'm dead. All right, so hold on one second here. Let me get to the other link here. I actually saw a storm chaser's car here today. We're in Arkansas. All right, so this has been going on this week here. I think this is coming out of Indiana here. There's a murder suspect arrested within hours of a woman being found unalived in her yard. And this is been following this for a few days here. I think they actually arrested somebody, but she was it wasn't long after they found her that they arrested this guy here. Community cooperation led to the quick arrest of the man who was less than 12 hours after the woman was found unalive in a backyard. I think she was found in a backyard. So let's play this here.
Indy's West Side.
CBS 4's Jesse Wells explains what.
Arrested within hours of a woman being murdered on Indy's West Side.
CBS 4's Jesse Wells explains what police say led to that quick arrest in this case.
The key to solving the homicide here at this home behind me was 2 words: community cooperation. Police say that assistance allowed detectives to track down the accused killer less than 12 hours after the victim was found dead. Kimberly Stewart is remembered as a helpful neighbor and loving.
Oh, that reporter just sounded so happy to announce that. Wow. Can you be any more happy that she was found dead? Listen to this. This is like
And the accused killer less than 12 hours after the victim was found dead.
wow.
Kimberly Stewart is remembered as a helpful neighbor and loving sister. Sadly, just after 11 o'clock Tuesday night, police found the 51-year-old woman dead in her own backyard behind this home on South Lyndhurst.
It's just sad. It's
Can you have just a little bit more compassion? I mean,
just very sad that somebody got murdered.
That neighbor lives just a few doors down from the victim and considered Kimberly a friend.
It's too close to home to have this done. It's sad. It's very sad.
While the motive for the murder remains unclear,
they always sound so happy, right? So weird. Like, huh, I gotta do this. Hold on a second here. That was really. Oh, she was found dead. People are so cold-hearted, man. I guess that's what you got to do if you've been doing this for so long, though. I don't know what to tell you.
after speaking to cooperative witnesses and neighbors, police quickly identified 45-year-old Travis Wolf as the suspected killer.
This is really what public safety should look like. This should be a collaboration between the community and IMPD working together.
Violent crimes detectives took Wolf into custody just before 11 o'clock Wednesday morning in this neighborhood near 19th and Drexel. IMPD admits the arrest was only possible because of the public's help.
That community coming forward is what led to the arrest of this murder suspect.
Court records show at the time of the killing, Wolf did have an active arrest warrant dating back to last October after he was charged with unlawful weapons possession by a serious violent felon last year. IMPD hopes the quick arrest of Stewart's accused killer gives some peace of mind to her grieving family.
This highlights all that work to bring justice for this victim who's no longer with us.
If he did it, hold him accountable, because this is not right as taking somebody's life.
Finally, the suspect is now being held without bond at the Marion County Jail, pending the filing of formal charges by the prosecutor's office. Jesse Wells, CBS 4 News.
People are so weird, right? Like, geez, I mean, if I'm going to be a reporter announcing this stuff, I'd have at least a little bit more tact than found dead. Yay, let's do this. All right, let's see if I have any more on this here. I do have more on this here, but I'm going to have to go to a different screen here to hold on a second here, right here.
Now at 5, we turn to a Fox 59 update. An accused killer behind bars. Tonight, a woman is found dead outside a home. This on Indianapolis's
I think she was literally found in the backyard.
West Side. Police say murder charges would not have been filed without the help from witnesses. Fox 59's Jesse Wells breaks down what happened and how it led to an arrest less than a day after that act.
Guy Rafael Sanchez, he was like a big reporter in the Delphi case.
To violence.
The key to solving the homicide here at
This guy again.
home behind me was 2 words: community cooperation. Police say that assistance allowed detectives to track down the accused killer less than 12 hours after the victim was found dead.
Yeah, here we go.
Kimberly Stewart is remembered as a helpful neighbor and loving sister. Sadly, just after 11 o'clock Tuesday night.
This is just so sad, and these people are treating this like this is the best thing ever.
Police found the 51-year-old woman dead in her own backyard behind this home on South Lyndhurst.
It's just sad. It's just very sad that somebody got murdered.
I'm not going to watch that again. We just watched this whole thing. I'm not going to be glamorizing this shit here. All right, so I'll try to keep an eye open for that. That's just weird how they just so happy that she was found dead. It's so weird. All right, so we'll move on to another case here. This has been gaining a little bit of traction around here. This is this happened, I believe this was in Nebraska. 36-year-old man accused of killing his father, a deacon at an Omaha church, police say. This came out a day ago. And we'll play a couple of these here. This is another one of those weird ones here.
Omaha's Catholic community is mourning the loss of one of their own. Good evening, I'm Bill Chambers.
I'm Julie Cornell. Omaha police say John Zach, a church deacon, was murdered by his own son. Police arrested 36-year-old Martin Zach. KETV News Watch 7's Quinicia Fraser is live with the latest in this investigation. Quinicia.
Julie, Bill, John Zach was a deacon here at St. Peter Catholic Church at 28th and Leavenworth. Tonight, the community is left wondering why this happened as Omaha police investigate his murder.
Omaha police say it started as a missing persons case after John Zach's wife called them.
So she called on the 11th at 11:30 to report John missing. She had returned home from work and noticed that something wasn't right. And that's when she initially called.
Lieutenant Nicholas Andrews says officers found Zach's body at his home. As the investigation progressed into the next day, officers put out a bulletin to local and surrounding agencies for a blue Mazda, the car Zach drove.
Early in the morning, around 8:30 a.m., officers in the Omaha Police Department located that Mazda around 10th and Bancroft, and a vehicle pursuit was initiated.
After a short chase, police took 36-year-old Martin Zach, the son of John, into custody.
Martin was transported to the Omaha Police Department where he was questioned and later booked for criminal homicide and some additional charges regarding the vehicle pursuit and theft of the motor vehicle.
Andrew says OPD is communicating with the family when it comes to the investigation.
They're obviously grieving at this point and working through a very difficult situation.
John Zach was a deacon at St. Peter's Catholic Church and a respiratory therapy supervisor for CHI Health. In a statement, CHI Health says they are heartbroken, adding, quote, he devoted his career to caring for patients and supporting his team.
Police haven't released a motive.
Gretchen's here. Good to see Gretchen. Always good to see Gretchen in the house. I haven't seen Tracy around for a while. Hope she's doing well. Hope she's okay. This is just sad. This is terrible.
But say Martin Zach sometimes lived at the home and stayed there the previous day. Court documents show he has prior assault and traffic convictions. Reporting live at 28th and Leavenworth, Quinicia Fraser, KETV, Newswatch 7.
This is like crazy world here. Let's get a little bit more on this here. This one was done a day ago. So this was Omaha police discuss homicide.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Homicide investigation for a deacon who was allegedly killed by. So his son killed him, allegedly, and this is the homicide police here.
My name is Lieutenant Nicholas Andrews. I'm the Omaha Police Department's lieutenant of the homicide unit. Thank everyone for coming. Today, I just want to go over some information regarding the homicide of John Zach. On March 11th, officers were called to 3611 Cass Street for a missing persons report. As uniformed patrol officers were there, they quickly discovered that the case was not, in fact, a missing. It was going to be a homicide investigation. Mr. Zach was located on scene there. They called the homicide unit, and officers and detectives responded to that scene. As our investigation progressed on the 11th into the 12th,
You think there's something mentally wrong with this kid or something?
put out a bulletin to local and surrounding agencies for John Zach's vehicle, which was a blue Mazda. Early in the morning, around 8:30 a.m., officers.
Like I said, it's always good to see everybody here. Gretchen, Jocelyn, Paula, Southern Gal, everybody, happy. I'll check the forecast for you in a minute. I don't think it's going to be terrible, but I'll look.
And the Omaha Police Department located that Mazda around 10th and Bancroft, and a vehicle pursuit was initiated. That vehicle pursuit was relatively short, and at the conclusion of that vehicle pursuit, our suspect, Martin Zach, was taken into custody. Martin was transported to the Omaha Police Department, where he was questioned and later booked for criminal homicide.
This guy right here is not from Omaha. I can tell just by his accent, or by the lack of an accent.
And some additional charges regarding the vehicle pursuit and theft of the motor vehicle. I just got done meeting with the family, giving them some details on the case.
Becky's here. Good to see Becky. Becky too. I'm going to say bye to you now because I always forget. But always good to see Becky in here. Tornadoes are possible tomorrow over there. Okay, I'll look into it. I know we got snow last night here.
They're obviously grieving at this point.
But the good news
and working through.
Good news about snow here in March, especially mid-March, is it doesn't last long. Like we got like 3 or 4 inches last night, and by the time I got up this afternoon, it was all gone.
Very difficult situation. At this time, I can't release any information regarding the exact details of the crime because we are still investigating. The home is being.
Yeah, you guys have no idea how excited every Saturday night, early Sunday morning I am to do these lives. You guys are all so awesome for coming in here. I mean, it's almost 2:00 here. You guys are troopers, man, to stay up and listen to me. But it's always good to see all you guys for sure. Feel free to sub to some of these channels. Mustangs here, Southern Gal, of course. Jocelyn's got a channel too, I think. I need no severe weather tomorrow. Got hit by a tornado on Tuesday. Were you in Michigan? Were you in? Yeah, we don't need any more of those for sure. Stay safe.
Held until we're conducting or have concluded that investigation. At this time, I will open up for questions and we'll go from there. Go ahead.
It was last night. driving around was pretty tricky because it was it's one of those like I guess you would call it a Alberta Clipper or something like that. I mean, everybody blames Canada for these things, but it was snowing harder last night than it's snowed all year here. You couldn't see 2 or 3 feet in front of you, and then it just ended. That was a good thing.
No, John Zach was married. He lived with his wife, and sometimes the suspect, Martin, lived there with him.
Can you elaborate the sometimes part of that?
That's what we were described. That's what we were told.
Was he residing there at that moment? Can you be that specific or not?
He did stay the previous day, correct.
We know this was tied to a missing persons case.
Did they say how old the kid was yet? The father was 69, but I don't think they said how old the son was. Felony theft, too. They got him for felony theft.
Can you confirm it was?
Say that again.
We know this was tied to like a missing persons case. That's what drew officers to the scene in the first place.
Yes.
Can you confirm that it was John who was the missing person?
Yes, Mary called to report John missing, and then when officers arrived on scene, they discovered some additional information, and we realized this was going to be a homicide investigation.
Was Mary's wife?
Yes.
Guys, like, get with the program. We already said that.
Do you know how long he was missing, reported missing, before the discovery?
It was the initial 911 call. So she called on the 11th at 11:30 to report John missing. She had returned home from work and noticed that something wasn't right, and that's when she initially called and reported the missing.
Do we know Martin Zach's record prior to this incident?
I think the PIO office can release that. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Yeah, we can provide that later. Was John located at the he was located, his body was located at the residence, is that correct?
Yes, officers did locate John at the residence.
What we heard that Martin was might have been a paranoid schizophrenic receiving treatment. Can you say anything? Can you confirm that?
I can't elaborate on that.
I saw that the family.
I wish I could get some of these arrest affidavits here, but it's really hard in some of these states like Nebraska. And it would take me probably all day to do it.
He has 13 kids. Where does Martin, where does he fall in line in that? Is he the oldest or?
I can't tell you exactly where he falls in line. I do know he was adopted. He was adopted at the age of, as an infant, 3-month-old infant, and he's been with, he's been their adopted child ever since.
Do you know where he was adopted?
So he was adopted. Okay.
Where he was adopted at, because I think we were looking and we couldn't find adoption records in the state of Nebraska. Do you know where that took place?
Does anybody think there's something more to this story than this? Just, I don't know. This is getting kind of crazy here, this story.
I don't.
Do you know where he was adopted from?
I don't.
I think Lieutenant's going off of what families provided.
We noticed officers still there this morning. Is it that unusual to hold on to a scene that long, or is there something that kind of?
It's not unusual. We're just making sure that we conduct a very thorough investigation. I can't release any of the details at this time, but we want to make sure that we don't miss anything.
What was John's body's condition when you found him?
I can't release that information at this time.
How's the rest of the family doing? I mean, this is going to be a tough time just because, father and then, their son is in custody.
Yeah, I just got done meeting with the family, and they're taking it tough. It's a large family that sounds like they were very close knit, and it's going to be a hard time for them to go through.
Obviously, the Police Officer Association released the name before it was officially released.
This is going to be a difficult case here, for sure.
Do you have any comment on that?
I do not.
Is there a court date set for this one?
Not at this time.
Does anybody know how old he was? Did I miss that? Let me change this to, oh, maybe we'll find out here.
Did he put up a fight when officers apprehended him?
I don't know that answer. Obviously, there was a vehicle pursuit. He was trying to evade police, but when he was taken into custody, he was not injured. And again, we had him down here for questioning, and he was fine.
Is he cooperating?
I can't answer that question right now.
How long was
All right. So I want to switch to this one here. Then I want to show, what's this here? 6. Trying to find out his age here.
Breaking at noon, a 36-year-old man now faces charges in the death of his father. Thanks for joining us. I'm Pete Cudahy. Omaha police say they arrested Martin Zach for criminal homicide and avoid.
Okay, so this must be the father. This is the adopted son here. He's being charged with criminal homicide, felony flight to avoid arrest, and felony theft. So probably stole the car to get out of there.
Avoiding arrest. His father, John Zach, served in the Catholic Church in Omaha, St. Peter's. That's where we find Madison Perales, who's live with an update from investigators. Hey, Madison.
Okay, Miranda, good to see you. I hope you're well.
Omaha investigators confirmed the man killed was Deacon John Zach, who serviced St. Peter's Catholic Church here at 28th and Leavenworth. Take a look at the crime scene video on Wednesday. That's when Omaha police were called to 36th and Cass, where Deacon John Zach was found dead. Through property records, Omaha's news leader confirmed it to be Zach's home. Thursday morning, police say they spotted a blue Mazda as a vehicle of interest on I-80 and 13.
Oh, we got into an accident. Spike strips, maybe, or pit maneuver, maybe. Police attempted a traffic stop, which led to a low-speed pursuit.
18th Street. It turned into a low-speed chase after officers attempted to stop the car, ending near 10th and Martha Streets. Police say they took 36-year-old Martin Zach into custody. Friday morning, Omaha's homicide investigators confirmed Martin Zach was Deacon John Zach's son.
It's 36. He's 36 years old.
KETV News Watch 7 reached out to the Archdiocese of Omaha. In a statement, Archbishop Michael.
So they adopted him really young, like 3 months, right? They said, and now he's 36.
McGovern says he's saddened to learn of his tragic death. Please join me in praying for the repose of the soul of Deacon Zach, for his family, and for the St. Peter Parish community in this difficult time. St. Peter's Reverend John Broheimer also made a comment after he learned the news of Deacon John Zach's death, and we have that statement online at KETV.com. Reporting in Omaha, Madison Perales, KETV News Watch 7.
Okay, so that's I'll keep an eye on that. That's going to be an interesting case to pay attention to. All right, so we're going to do this here. Maybe not here. Hold on 1 second. I was going to do something else. Did I want to do this one here? Yeah, hold on. We'll do this one here. All right, hold on 1 second here. Let me get something else pulled up here. I did want to do this stuff that's going on over here in Revere. Let me see if I can pull that up. Hold 1 second. Give me 2 seconds here. Oh, I want to play this one here. Let's do the Danvers thing first. Hold on a second here. All right, let's pull this one up here because this is going to go in line with everything. So this is oh, we did that one. This is going on in Danvers, Massachusetts. This has been going on all week here. And this is going to kind of coincide with some of the other stuff here that I'm working on tonight. But anyways, this has been going on. 18-year-old high school senior has been charged in the random unaliving of a 68-year-old woman in Danvers, Massachusetts. This has been all over the news lately here. And I want to play, this was done 2 days ago. So here we go here with this.
School senior wandering down the street with what appeared to be a bloody knife launched an investigation that led them to a home in Danvers where a woman was found dead. Breaking right now at 11, the district attorney says this appears to be a random murder. I'm David Wade. The violence is shocking and the motive tonight is unknown. Samantha Chaney is live for us in Danvers where investigators just spoke. Samantha?
Good evening, David. Well, according to the Essex County DA, as of right now, they're saying that it seems like that defendant, 18-year-old Anthony DeMeo, and that female victim, they had no connection. They're saying that this seems to be completely random, but now he is facing a murder charge after police say they found that victim, 68-year-old Janet Swallow, dead inside of her home on Amherst Street. According to the police, DeMeo had to be arrested in Lynn earlier this afternoon and taken to the hospital for erratic behavior after someone actually reported him walking down the street with what appeared to be a bloody knife.
This is just so bizarre here. But this stuff here does happen. So let's go here to give you guys some sort of idea of where the hell we are. We'll go to the map. So here's Boston here. So Danvers is basically northeast due north, pretty much. Just outside of Beverly, so I know exactly where Danvers is. There's Revere there, Lynn. So, oh, it's right by Manchester to Sea. Okay, very good. All right, so let's go back to this here.
Authorities say information later discovered through a search warrant at his home in Lynn is what
This is saying just like a random. Remember the guy that I think it was last year, the year before that, the guy that just went around just in a neighborhood stabbing people. Remember that? He stabbed a postal worker, and they stabbed, I forget where that was. I think that might have been Ohio.
led them to the victim's house in Danvers, where she was found dead with injuries with what police say looked like a homicide.
Obviously, this is not only a tragedy for the town, for the school. This is just a very difficult case because of the randomness of this.
Lynn, Massachusetts has some of the best Greek restaurants you're ever going to go to. I mean, they're, if you like Greek food, Lynn, Massachusetts is the place to go.
Violence. The Swallow family are longtime Danvers residents, and we have notified Janet's two sons at this time of the tragedy, and our thoughts and prayers are with her and her family.
Now, authorities tell us the defendant is a senior at Bishop Fenwick High School in Peabody. We're told he will be arraigned in the Salem District Court tomorrow. Live here in Danvers, I'm Samantha Chaney, WBZ News.
All right, Samantha, thank you.
All right, so let's go here. This is, well, we're right here anyways. We'll do this here. This was done a day ago.
Off the top here at 5 o'clock, our first look tonight at the 18-year-old high school student accused of randomly stabbing a woman to death as she was sleeping. In court this afternoon, a judge ordered him to undergo an extensive mental health evaluation. We have new video also showing the suspect and what led to his arrest. Neighbors reported seeing him wandering around a Lynn neighborhood and in one case appearing to be stabbing.
This is just ridiculous. This is insane. Look at this kid. He's just wandering around the neighborhood. This is broad daylight here. And this looks like a pretty populous neighborhood here.
Bushes with a knife. In the court documents, investigators wrote that the 18-year-old Anthony DeMeo said he wanted to kill someone for a long time. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Wade.
And I'm Lisa Hughes. We've also learned new information about Janet Swallow, the victim of this crime.
Just out of the blue, right? This poor lady here, just unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
We have live team coverage.
I mean, how unlucky can you get?
To this story tonight, beginning with WBZ's Christina Rex live in Danvers. Christina.
Lisa and David, this was Janet Swallow's home of more than 30 years here in Danvers. And now neighbors tell me after learning more about what Anthony DeMeo allegedly
Oh my God, this sucks. This is terrible.
told police his intentions were, they're fearful that any one of them could have been the victim here.
Matter Anthony DeMeo?
She has to literally be the most unlucky person in the world. Like this poor 69-year-old lady here just happened to be in the wrong place, the wrong time for this guy.
This is the 18-year-old who police say randomly murdered an innocent Danvers woman. Anthony DeMeo was arrested in Lynn Thursday after he was caught wandering.
Why? Like, why? They're just walking around the neighborhood with a knife.
With a bloody knife, according to
Nobody's seen this guy? Nobody sees this guy just walking around the neighborhood with a knife? It's so weird.
the police report. He told officers he had murdered someone Wednesday night, saying that he wanted to kill someone for a long time and that he drove around surrounding communities before stopping in Danvers at 17 Amherst Street.
Seems to be very random, which is also very unnerving.
Neighbors are terrified, knowing that the suspect allegedly randomly chose this house and had no connection to the victim.
It kind of adds to that fear of like it could have.
Oh, this sucks. This is awful. I mean, maybe because she had probably a light on or something like that, or I don't know, just why did he choose her? It's so weird.
Really been anyone.
The victim is 68-year-old Janet Martin Swallow.
Sucks.
Her front yard now a memorial.
Oh, that's poor, the poor woman. Oh my God.
She had lived at this house for decades, raising her family here. Swallow was a mother of two.
This woman here probably did everything right in her life, right? Family, relationship, probably just then to get to be 69, just minding your own freaking business in your home, and this lunatic comes out of nowhere. It's a nightmare.
Adult sons and a longtime ICU nurse at Leahy Hospital. Her boss tells WBZ she'll be greatly missed. Sir, any comment?
No comment.
After court, the suspect's lawyer had nothing to say, and his family members left in silence. Anything you want to say about your relative? DeMeo is a Bishop Fenwick.
It's so weird how reporters are just to get the story right, and I know, they have to ask these questions, right? But can you ask, smarter questions, right?
Student. The school said it's cooperating with investigators. He allegedly told police he broke a window screen to crawl into the kitchen, discovered Janet Swallow in her bedroom asleep, and stabbed her for.
Oh my God, that is so awful. That's like Night Stalker shit right there.
No reason.
It's kind of crazy happening in this neighborhood. I've been here my whole life, and you really haven't heard anything like this.
A very scary situation for the people who live here. Now, Anthony DeMeo is going to Bridgewater State Hospital for a 20-day serious psych evaluation to determine if he's competent to stand trial. Then he'll be back in court on April 1st. Now, coming up on WBZ News at 6 o'clock, hear the message.
Obviously, this is not a normal behavior, right? I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why they're going to need a whole evaluation to figure that out, right? I mean, that's just, hold on a second here. About some bongos. Obviously, he's a little crazy.
From the Danvers police chief about the safety of this community. Live in Danvers, Christina Rex, WBZ News.
All right, Christina, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Oh my God, that's just terrible. All right, so let's find out a little bit more about the victim here. This is just awfully sad. This is just terrible. Oh.
So tonight, video showing the arrest of a high school senior accused of stabbing and killing a woman inside her home.
The victim is a 68-year-old nurse. Investigators say that her home was picked at random. She was in her bed at the time. Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. I'm Ed Harding.
And I'm Jennifer Piñata in for Maria tonight. This investigation spanning multiple North Shore communities from Danvers to Lynn. Our John Atwater reports from Danvers.
Thank you, Paula. I just think this is awful. This is just terrible.
And new tonight, neighbors are sharing what they saw.
Well, there is now a growing memorial here outside the victim's home. Those who knew her say that they will miss her.
I wish I could get down here and leave something here. This is just terrible. It's such a beautiful house. You know, just minding her own business here in this house. You know, she's probably enjoying her life now. She's probably had her kids, just kind of working as a dedicated nurse here. And then some crazy person just comes out of nowhere and picks this house here of all the homes, right?
Smile and her sense of humor.
A huge heart, a huge smile.
68-year-old Janet Swallow was a mother, a friend to so many.
This is just so horrible. This is just terrible. Look at this poor woman. Like, why?
Friend to so many and a dedicated ICU nurse at Leahy Hospital.
Janet.
She's basically helping people as an ICU nurse in intensive care, doing the right thing to help society. And this freaking moron, it's just awful.
Always smiled and mentored new nurses, mentored myself, and it's really tragic to hear this.
Yes, Your Honor.
Investigators say 18-year-old Anthony DeMeo randomly picked her home in Danvers Wednesday night, crawling in through a window and stabbing the victim in her bedroom.
He looked right in my eyes.
The next morning, people in this Lynn neighborhood spotted a suspicious man.
Hi. Oh my God, this is just awful. It's just, you can't make this stuff up, man. This is just, this is like 40 or 50 miles away from me too. This is just, what a scary world we live in. You're not even safe in your own home anymore. No doubt. It's sad. This is such a sad story. This poor woman couldn't have been at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Wandering around, waving what they say was a knife.
He was like stabbing all the bushes in the neighborhood. He was just acting very like erratic.
This is like Night Stalker shit here.
I knew he had something in his hand, but I didn't know what it was. But my husband said it was a knife and it had blood on it.
Rhonda DiParalisa says he hopped her fence and even tried to get into her house.
And he tried to open up my door.
Oh my God.
But I locked my doors.
Neighbors called 911, prompting a large police response, and officers arrested the man. Prosecutors say DeMeo confessed to the chilling crime, and they say evidence led them to the victim's home where they found her body.
It's horrific.
Oh my God, this is just absolutely awful. This, for those who have mothers, man, this is just, what do you do? I mean, how do you protect yourself from this? I mean, you can lock your doors. This guy crawled through a freaking screen window or whatever. Just ridiculous.
Horrific because it's such a random act of violence that nobody ever saw coming.
Those who knew the victim are now leaving flowers outside her home and sharing memories.
Oh, this is terrible. This is awful.
Of the woman they loved.
Everyone that knows and knew Janet knows that humor was her biggest tool. I'm sure that she's left a huge legacy.
The suspect is now being held without bail. He will now undergo a psychological evaluation at Bridgewater State Hospital. In Danvers, John Atwater.
Oh my God, that's awful. I didn't know that it was just like, a knife wielding lunatic. This is ridiculous. I wanted to play one more, but hold on a second here.
Atwater, WCVB News Center 5.
Can you imagine that? Like just being in your house, probably going to bed for the night, and this clown just comes out of nowhere and starts unaliving you. It's just, you can't make this stuff up. It's just so awful. I do want to play. Hold on a second here. I can get there from here. Hold on a second here. I think I have this one here. Right here. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on. I want to play this one here because this is the arraignment. Hold on here. Okay, so this was done. Had to have been done Friday. Yeah, Bishop Fenwick, high school student Anthony DeMeo was ordered held without bail after police said he confessed to unaliving 69-year-old Janet Swallow in Danvers, Mass. So this is the arraignment here.
Senior accused of killing a 68-year-old woman in Danvers. It's happening right now in Salem District Court. Let's listen in.
Oh my God, this is awful.
Clinic. Is that right? And so, ma'am, could you just identify yourself? Certainly, Dr. Joyce Perara, designated forensic psychologist. I do, Dr. Joyce Perara. Good afternoon, Dr. Perara. Did you have an opportunity to evaluate Mr. DeMeo? I did, Your Honor. All right. I interviewed Mr. DeMeo for a little over an hour with counsel present, and I also spoke with family. I presented the warning of limits of confidentiality, which Mr. DeMeo understood. Mr. DeMeo is 18 years old. He presents today with depressive symptoms, including restricted affect, anhedonia, and suicidal ideation. Indication is these symptoms have existed for some time. Partial responsiveness on interview leaves open the question of possible psychotic process. He demonstrated adequate factual understanding of his charges and the court process given his lack of previous experience in criminal court. However, I have concerns about his rational understanding and the potential impact of his current functioning upon his legal decision-making. I am recommending further evaluation of both his competency to stand trial and his criminal responsibility. That evaluation, in my opinion, needs to take place in a hospital for further assessment of his mental state. Given the nature of the alleged index offenses, in my opinion, the strict security of Bridgewater State
This is insane. This is crazy.
Hospital is necessary. If the court commits under 15B, the return date should be April 1st. Thank you. You're welcome, Your Honor. And can you report any questions for the doctor? I have a question. Thank you very much. How long do you see as far as bail is concerned?
Does he look drugged or does he just look kind of weird how he looks here?
So
He's very cognizant. He knows what's going on. There's no doubt.
Your Honor, good morning. Erin McAndrews for the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is seeking that the defendant be held without bail.
By agreement?
Yes, reserve those.
And Your Honor, the Commonwealth does have a state.
These things, man, I'm telling you right here, these cases right here just make you want to just leave. Just go somewhere, like some sort of an island where you're all by yourself. Because this is just, I mean, this could happen to anybody, literally. This is like, this is going to be up there with like getting struck by lightning as far as the odds of having something like this happen to you. Because this is weird.
Statement of facts for probable cause. On March 12th of 2026, a male subject, later identified as 18-year-old Anthony DeMeo, was apprehended by Lynn police after a 911 call reported observing DeMeo walking down Standish Street with a knife. While the investigation was unfolding.
I mean, what do you think the odds of this happening to you are? It's got to be 1 in a billion. It has like just it's so, this is so like, you never hear these things, just don't normally happen where you have just some kid like this here just all of a sudden deciding one day or one night that he's just going to go out and randomly attack somebody, and it's going to be even higher odds to be the victim here because he could have picked any house.
DeMayo informed Lynn police officers that he had killed a woman the night before in Danvers, Massachusetts.
Boston Christian's here. Good to see Boston Christian. If he was on psych drugs, the family needs to go. Absolutely. Boston Christian's right there. There's Boston Christian. He definitely needs help. There's no doubt. He probably needed help before. This is just awful. This is such a sad thing. The odds to this have to be astronomical. Like, to be a victim like this here. And I'm gonna have to do some statistical researching this because this is bizarre.
Lynn Police Department executed a search warrant at the DeMayo residence in Lynn, where they located clothing that had stains consistent with blood. As a result of the evidence located during the search warrant and cell phone data of DeMayo's phone, the Danvers Police Department and the Massachusetts State Police conducted a well-being check at 17 Amherst Street in Danvers. Officers located 69-year-old Janet Swallow, alone, deceased in her home, suffering from wounds consistent with a homicide. Based on the investigation, DeMayo entered the residence by climbing in through a window and stabbed Ms. Swallow while she was
Climbing in through a window. I was just researching that. That's odd too.
in bed. It does not appear that any items were missing from the home. Investigators believe that the defendant acted alone at that time and that this was in fact a random attack. At this time, the Commonwealth has also filed a motion to impound the criminal application with the attached memorandum and signed affidavit that I could pass up now.
Yes, please.
Always good to see Boston Christian here. Always good to see Beasley. You guys are all amazing. Mustang, Jocelyn. I haven't seen Tracy around. I hope Tracy's okay.
I have provided one to my brother as well.
I'm going to try to stay on here long enough for Charlotte to come in too, because I feel bad last week because I lost that freaking hour last week. That I had to get out of here as soon as Charlotte came in. They still make suit jackets like this here? I didn't know that.
All right, counsel, any objection with regards to the motion to impound?
No objection.
Motion's allowed without objection.
I mean, this is just fate. This is just horrible fate. This is just terrible for this poor woman and her family. Her family's going to be, oh my God, terrible. This must be the lawyer.
No, Your Honor.
So the defendant
The lawyer doesn't look happy at all. That's the lawyer doesn't look very happy.
is going to be held without bail. During the pendency of this case, I understand, counsel, you're asking that it be without prejudice at this time. In addition,
I mean, you can tell that he understands what's going on in the courtroom, right? He understands. His eyes are moving, and wherever, you know, it's almost like a game of tennis here. Like when the judge talks and then when the lawyers talk, he's watching everything. So he's coherent. There's no doubt.
pursuant to Chapter 123.15a, as far as the evaluation
Almost like he's bored to be there. Like, what am I doing here? Well, he just killed somebody.
is concerned, the doctor has opined that that the
Peggy's here. Where's Peggy? There's Peggy right there. Good to see Peggy in the house. I thought I gave you a wrench already. I'm pretty sure that's Peggy. Oh, good to see Peggy in here. Good to see everybody in here, really. This is just so awful.
defendant needs additional evaluation that should be done in a strict security setting, which would be done
Where are these judges coming from? I don't get it.
at Bridgewater. And that period should not exceed more than 20 days, which is a date of April 1st. So what I was thinking, counsel, is that we schedule it for probable cause hearing on that April.
Thank you, Mustang, for putting Peggy's channel in there. I don't understand why she doesn't have a wrench. Always good to see everybody in here, for sure. I would have gotten into a lot more trouble if I would have had judges like this, that's for sure.
First aid, as well as a return date on the evaluation for both competency and criminal responsibility, will be held without bail during that period of time. Anything else from either party?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
No, I don't understand what happens next. He's gonna go get evaluated for what, 60 days or something like that. Then they're gonna go back and see if he's competent to stand trial. Do they have they must have an insanity Massachusetts, does Massachusetts have an insanity? Mass have an insanity. Insanity law statute? Insanity. Yes, Massachusetts recognized the insanity defense and often referred to as a lack of criminal responsibility. Oh my God. This is going to be a terrible case here because he's probably going to get it. Oh, that would be terrible. All right, I got to keep an eye on that because this is just awful. It's a terrible case. All right, so let's stay in Massachusetts here. I'll keep following that because that's the poor people, man. The whole poor family. I bet you they weren't expecting that. All right, so let's move on to this here. I remember I covered a little bit of this. This has been going on for a while here. So here's this coming out of Revere, Mass, actually my old stomping ground here. Series of indecent assaults under investigation in Revere. This came out, this is going to be pretty quick, 2 minutes. Police in Revere, Massachusetts are urging people to stay alert after 3 women were assaulted near the Beachmont, I know that is MBT as a bus stop, in the last 2 months. So let's play this. This was done on March 10th here. And this has been going on for a while, I think. So that's why they're coming out now. This alert here. So if you live down there in that area, especially Winthrop, Revere, Lynn, especially around these bus stops here.
We are warning people to stay alert after a series of disturbing assaults near an MBTA stop.
NBC 10's Mary Marcos is live at Beachmont Station with what police know and how maybe you can help. What's the deal here, Mary?
Well, the police chief tells me all 3 women were targeted late at night, touched inappropriately, and left shaken as the suspect slipped away.
He approaches them from behind, so he is following them down the street. In all 3 instances, he comes from behind, and then he grabs their buttocks.
The first attack happened back on January 13th near Winthrop Parkway, then again on
That's, if you go this way here, I used to be in this area here.
February 19th, and most recently, just last week on March 7th, all between 10 and 11 p.m., all...
This whole, let me go back here for a second, but so this whole area in here, the blizzard of 78, this whole area in here was completely destroyed. This is all fairly new. Everything in this area here. So January 13th, so the first one was January 13th here. February 19th here. I'll try to map this out at some point in my life here, but this is probably like a, I don't know, 2 or 3 mile radius here.
All between 10 and 11 p.m., all within the Beachmont neighborhood.
That's just so scary that somebody can even do that multiple times and like think it's okay to get away with, and they have been getting away with it.
Investigators have been canvassing the area and combing through video like this. They haven't found any angles that show his face, so police are asking you to check your home surveillance camera.
Second. Oh, I hate doing this because I can never do this right. So let's back this up just a little bit here. You got to be careful of these people here. I know it sounds maybe a little innocent, but some of these people here are crazy. If they're capable of doing stuff like this here, they're pretty much capable of doing anything.
Angles that show his.
He's walking pretty quick, actually. Hold on a second. Okay, so we'll start it here. Let me go big screen here.
They haven't.
He's got his hand in his jacket here, I think.
Found any angles that show his.
Yeah, he's carrying something. He's got his hand in his jacket here. He's moving too.
Face. So police are.
One more time. Sorry.
Found any.
Looks like he's got short hair here.
Angles that.
Yeah, shorter hair. Almost like a military cut here.
Show his face.
It's definitely shaved here and heavier on top.
So police are asking you to check your home surveillance cameras to help find him.
The description of the suspect has been consistent throughout all three separate victims.
Police say he's somewhere between 5'4" and 5'7" with a thin build and short dark hair.
Really? Does he seem that short? I think that's kind of low. He looks a little taller than 5'4" or 5'7" here. Don't you think?
One point, he was seen wearing a black jacket and light colored jeans.
I mean, that's crazy. Unfortunately, that's just like the world we live in. I've never seen anything bad happen here. I feel like Revere gets a really bad connotation.
In the last coming years, I would say I definitely feel less safe. I've lived here.
It's less on a camp. Good to see you. Yes, that's what I thought. I thought he looked a little taller than that. I'd say probably 5'9", 5'10". Definitely lanky. You know, he's not stocky.
For over 10 years, and it's definitely gone down in how I feel safe and even considered moving.
Police are increasing patrols and adding more cameras around Beachmont Station.
I would say remain vigilant all the time, but especially now, especially in those areas and at that.
I don't understand what that stay vigilant means. What does that actually mean? How do you actually stay vigilant? I don't know why I say that. They gotta, I mean, they gotta get a little bit, what does that mean? What does it mean to stay vigilant?
That time of night.
Now, if you have any information that could help with the investigation or if you see anything suspicious, police want to hear from you.
They always say that. Can you tell us exactly what you mean by stay vigilant? I don't know what the fuck does that mean. Okay, here we go.
Well, tonight, people in a Revere neighborhood are on alert. Police say a man is grabbing women who are leaving the Beachmont T station. WBZ's Christina Rex spoke with police about the investigation.
This is the man who police say is grabbing women from behind late at night in Revere. The surveillance video doesn't show much, but they say he's between 5'4" and 5'7", light-skinned, Hispanic, and clean-shaven. In each case, the victim was leaving the Beachmont train station between 10 and 11 at night. Police say the man then followed them.
He approaches them from behind, so he is following them down the street. In all three instances, he comes from behind, and then he grabs their buttocks.
Then he walks away. In one instance, he spoke to a woman in Spanish, the police chief says.
Why are you out here this late? Or something to that effect.
The guy's probably sick or something. He really needs help.
Some T-riders are horrified by the repeat assaults, which happened on January 13th, February 19th, and most recently, March 7th.
I think that was like what the guy did was so stupid. Like, why would someone do such a thing like that? Yeah. It's just like ridiculous.
And generally, they feel safe in the Beachmont neighborhood.
I usually come in the morning. This is late for me, but it's usually a little busier.
and generally safe. Yeah, I've never had any issues.
Others don't take the threat too seriously.
Is that what that means? Keep a lookout? Yeah, it's pretty I've been following that for a while. There was another guy down there too that was doing the same kind of thing. I wonder if it's the same guy. Definitely weird there. Keep a lookout. Is that what that means? Stay vigilant?
Too mature to take that.
And say they wouldn't let the man get away if he
He's walking pretty fast. He actually almost looks like a cop.
dared touch them.
When I was younger, I was more of a scaredy cat. Now, my life is practically over. So if somebody tries to touch me, I'm gonna crack them in the head. If God gives me the
gotta love Revere.
opportunity.
Have you seen this man? Revere police want your help. In the meantime,
I would say remain vigilant all the time, but especially now, especially in those areas and at that time of night.
Revere police tell me they're really looking for some better surveillance video. So if you might have some at home that shows the suspect's face, you're asked to please give them a call. In Revere, Christina Rex, WBZ News.
Yeah, the thing is like right now, it's not really, I mean, even if they catch him, it's not really, I mean, what assault? What's that? A couple of years, maybe? Tracy, good morning to you. England here. Stay vigilant would mean switch on people. The streets are scary. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Good to see you, Tracy Smith. Yeah, I think a little bit more, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, a little bit more, thank you so much, Tracy Smith. I appreciate that. They should be a little bit more open about what they mean by that. All right, so we're gonna go now. We're gonna do this here. I wanted to do the missing person case of the week, but I came up with this here because this is important here. But I want to go over this here. Okay, so this will be the first missing person here. And I think I actually posted her picture and her write-up in my community posts. But let's go here first. So the missing person case. This is Anastasia Ferreira. Good to see Tracy in here for sure. If you stick around long enough, somebody else from England comes in here, Charlotte. But good to see you here for sure. Let's see here. So this is the story of Anastasia Ferreira. I'm going to butcher this. I'm not going to say it. Ferreira, something like that. But she's been missing since for a while here. So let's do this here, and then we'll get into what. All right, here we go. This is the missing person case.
Somewhere for detectives to start. In the case of Anastasia Ferreira, who vanished from Albuquerque in 2023, all her family knows is where her phone last pinged. That has not led investigators anywhere, just dead end after dead end. Here's Nicole Burley with a closer look at her case.
Natalie Padilla isn't giving up. Regularly coming to this Albuquerque neighborhood.
We go down probably 2 times a week just driving in the area. We drive from one end of Central and work our way all the way down.
Watching for any sign of her 19-year-old daughter, Anastasia Ferreira.
Looking for her, somebody that maybe remembers or, something. We also go out and feed the homeless, passing out her flyer, just keeping her name out there.
All she knows is that Anastasia's phone last pinged here at a homeless ministry and outreach center called God's Warehouse on March 15th, 2023.
One of the last places that we were able to confirm that she was where she was at is God's Warehouse in the southeast.
After that, nothing.
Nothing on social media. There was no messages from her. Her last post was around the 15th, so everything just literally stopped right then and there.
The unanswered texts, a gut punch. The pair had always been extremely close.
These cases are so awfully sad. Hold on a second here. Let me go to the right up here really quick. Let me get out of this here. It's really hard sometimes. Southern Gal would know this here. To get any information on these people here, but we're going to do the best we can. Okay, so this is the write up on here. This is Chip Chick page here. So in 2023, Anastasia Stacia was a 19-year-old known for her big heart and adventurous spirit. She lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay, so let's get down here. It doesn't feel real. Seems like a dream. It honestly feels like a dream. I don't feel like it's been that long. So this is her mom talking here, Natalie Padilla. June. This was she was saying this on June 24th, 2024. On the night of March 15, 2023, Anastasia reportedly went to a party on Charleston Street. Let me bookmark this here. Hold on a second here. I'm really bad at this. Then after an argument occurred, she was supposedly asked to leave. So she was asked to leave this party here. The 19-year-old's phone pinged for the final time the following day on March 16th, 2023 at, okay, hold on a second here. Avenue Northeast. Okay, her social media account subsequently went silent, and no one has seen or heard from her since. According to Anastasia's family, they didn't find out, so she's they didn't find out about the location of Anastasia's last phone ping until almost 1 year later. Fantastic. The Albuquerque Police Department has reportedly remained tight-lipped about the rest of the investigation. Ugh. They're never going to tell the family anything. The only thing, especially within the first few months, because believe it or not, family is, I don't want to say suspects, but families are looked into for sure. So a lot of times they're not going to say a lot to the family. Sometimes they just don't care, but a lot of times they do. When you look at missing person cases, it's not necessarily a crime to go missing. And so there are a lot of different things that these detectives they have to look at for sure, he explained. Okay, so let's go back to this here. Nice to see a new channel in the crime. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So good to see you here. Everybody here is awesome. Period. Let's see here. All right, let's go back to this here.
Anastasia still lived at home, but the smiling, carefree child had grown, and Natalie admits there were issues with drugs.
She went down the wrong path and was hanging out with some wrong people and made some not very good choices.
The founder of God's Warehouse, unable to help.
She was a client that just came in and God's Warehouse feeds approximately 300 to 400 people that eat supper 7 nights a week.
He says police searched the property.
Did we do this already? I thought we did this already. Because this place looks really familiar here. Hold on a second here. Let me get, what am I doing? Hold on a second here. So I just put that address in and we were here, right? This is 8011 Central Ave, Northeast Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is where her phone last pinged, right in here. And this is that a Chuck E. Cheese? No. Nope. So, you would think When was this done? This was done March 2025, so I don't know if this place you would think that there'd be some sort of cameras around here somewhere. This is a pretty populous area, so there's the corner central. This is probably the place they're talking about here. God's Warehouse. Yep. Okay. Perfect. But you would think that there'd be some cameras here, right? Probably here. This looks like a restaurant here. And that's a storage unit facility here. They always have cameras here in these. That's what I try to do here. I try to take a drive along these roads here to see. They got to have some sort of video footage here. All right, so let's go back. Car right in front of you. Look out. Follows funny.
Thoroughly.
They've come a few times. The last time they came in with some canine dogs looking.
What is this place like? Hold on a second here. Is it like a food? So God's Warehouse is a nonprofit organization in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So it's a homeless place. It's the best place for homeless to eat. Okay, so it's basically just a place for homeless people to go to have food, right? I don't know if they have. There's no income requirement. Okay, so let's go. I guess I can take you guys along here. Hold on a second here. Yes, Tracy, do you have an active channel? If you guys have channels in here, feel free to throw them in the. I don't mind promoting other channels for sure. Let me get out of here, and I want to go to this. I think I can do this here. All right, so this is their Facebook page here. We're a nonprofit, faith-based ministry helping the communities of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Let's do about. That's it. So that's it. I don't think they have. It's just where you go to get food. I don't think they have, a place to stay there. So let's get out of that there. Yeah, that is interesting. I think I did. I can't be certain. I have to go back to my recent videos because I'm pretty sure I did something on this before. This place looks awfully familiar.
For if there was any kind of gravesite.
And no security footage showing Anastasia.
Really?
They have signs that say that they do have surveillance, but they're not operating. They're just, to a scare tactic, I guess, but they're not recording. They're not even on.
Anastasia's phone and other belongings have never been found.
No clothing, no purse, because she carried a purse with her. She didn't have a debit card or a bank card, so there was no way of tracking the last transaction or if somebody pulled money out.
Padilla says police.
Well, we're definitely glad you're here. If you would like a wrench, let me know. You don't have to do anything, obviously. If you have a wrench, you just Always good to see people in here for sure. If not, I'd be talking to myself here. She's very pretty for sure.
Police interviewed 3 people Anastasia had been in contact with on Facebook Messenger, but it didn't lead anywhere.
We've done billboards, I've done radio ads, thousands and thousands of flyers, just trying to keep her name out there and letting everyone know she is still missing, and we do not have any leads.
If anyone knows anything, even if you think the tip is not important, it could be important to our case because we have been investigating it. We do have a lot of stuff that we need to put together so we can put all the pieces together, but that tip might be the reason why we solved this case.
Happy birthday to you. For now, Padilla holds on to these old photos and happier memories.
She could light up a room with just her smile. She's very outgoing. She loves to laugh.
Nickname.
These things are just terrible. I'm going to put her information in the ticker that's rolling across the bottom of the screen. And I do swear at some point that I'm going to fix my scrolling tickers here, that they're a little bit easier to I'm just no good at this stuff. Eventually I'll put all the names here in different categories here down here, just in case anybody has any information.
Named Karma by her friends, she showed a soft spot for those.
This is awful. This is terrible. The only clue. Phone ping is the only clue. I doubt that.
Was in need.
She is a big animal lover. She's brought in home, I don't know how many dogs that she found out and about.
Now it's Anastasia who needs to be found, and Padilla hopes someone.
So she's Anastasia for our age 20. They spelt that wrong. Female, height 4'9". Weight 100 pounds, so she's tiny. Brown hair, brown eyes. Okay.
On watching has the answers that can finally bring her daughter home.
Just never thought in a million years this would be our life. I figured, she'd be doing big things, working, and getting married. I'd be a grandma, doing those things.
It absolutely drives me crazy every time I do these things. The victims' families and shit, it just gets to me all the time. These poor people, all they want is answers. They don't want any they don't want any drama more. They just want answers. So let's see here. Let me get out of this here for a second here. This stuff drives you to crazy. And it never ends. These people, there's missing people every single day. It's just crazy. They're going through all their checklists and trying to determine where the person is, and then they either reach a fork and this is stupid. Well, this person wants to be found, does not want to be found, or if this person is endangered. Former APD Commander Paul Syke echoed Vega's sentiment at the time, saying it's every parent's worst nightmare, but the reality still is that just when it comes to law enforcement involvement in these roles and these investigations. Now, Natalia the mom was reportedly told by the police in 2024 that unless they received more information, her daughter's case would soon be considered cold. Fantastic. Why would you tell the mother of the victim or whatever that? Oh, this stuff makes me angry. Anastasia's family bolstered their efforts by handing out over 500 flyers from Beeline to Santa Fe, New Mexico, right? A Facebook page entitled Find Anastasia Ferry, I'm still going to butcher that, has also been created to continue. Okay, so very good. I'll probably donate something there later. There's a GoFundMe page there. The current investigation by law enforcement is not progressing, and we are raising money to fund other resources. Private investigator, probably every dollar will be used to cover expenses. So, okay. She's only 19 years old and still has a lot of life ahead of her. The fundraiser, which has a goal of 25 grand, has raised over 19.5. This is sad. The final text the 19-year-old sent. Oh, that's awful. Oh, these poor people. Okay, so I'm gonna let me copy and paste this here. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna add you. Thank you, Paula Mustang and Paula. Check our social media for sure. All right, give me 2 seconds. Let me hold on a second. What am I doing? All right, so is this the one I'm playing here? Okay. Okay, I think I did it. So hold on a second. Okay, so I just added her down here. I'll try to do a better job at that next week to have it on there. It's sad to hear about these missing people. Get how it happens, though. Yes, it's terrible. It's we go through this every single week, and it doesn't get any easier here. So they're probably considering this case to be, until they have any more information about this case here, they kind of have to, look at it like she just probably left, or until there's any information to, to suggest otherwise. Okay, so we're going to go on to this here next. This is another missing person case here. The good news on this case here is they have somebody, a potential person of interest. And right after this, we're going to go into the Nancy Guthrie thing, because I think this is important here, but we'll see. Hold on a second. Let me share this. Am I sharing this? No. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is coming out of Arizona here. This is police detail search into Isabella Comas disappearance. And this has been going on right up the street from where Nancy Guthrie went missing. Avondale police are pleading for help from the public as the search for Isabella Comas nears the 2-month mark. So she's been missing for 2 months. The agency sat down with ABC 15, marking the first interview since the 21-year-old was reporting missing. So this was done on the 11th. So let's play this here. This is Isabella Comas, I think. Here we go.
Where is Isabella Comas? For nearly 2 months now, Avondale police have searched for the missing 21-year-old. ABC 15 is for the first time speaking with that agency, getting a chance to ask questions about the case. But before we get to that interview, here are the details you need to know. Isabella Comas was last seen on January 11th. Police are still hopeful she's alive, despite finding the 21-year-old's car abandoned in Phoenix. Inside, police say they found a substantial amount of blood that was a match for Comas. The passenger seat was also missing. The only person of interest they have in this case is still Tommy Rodriguez, who we're told was seeing Comas romantically. Court documents say the two had only known.
Does this guy look anything like hold on a second here. Well, I can play this while doing that.
known each other for a few months. He was arrested just days after a turquoise alert went out. Right now, he is behind bars, only charged with stealing and damaging Comas's car. We also, for the first time, sat down with Comas's family, hearing from her mom, who didn't want to share her face or name.
The reason why we're reaching out is just to continue to keep Belle's face and name in the media, right, within the community, in hopes of generating new meaningful leads that will help with the investigation.
Okay, so I mean, it might be a stretch, right? Hold on a second here. Hold on one second here while I find this here.
Belle's face and name in the media, right, within the community, in hopes of generating new meaningful leads that will help with the investigation in hopes in finding Isabella.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about your daughter?
Bella was young and she was full of life. She loved fashion in her own way. She loved art and music. She loved to dance. She loved to hang out with friends and go on trips and all of the things a 21-year-old likes to do. Bella was full of life. She was always
I love that piercing right there. That's awesome.
laughing.
I know you said you guys were searching every day. Do you mind describing how you guys search?
Yes, so we have been going back to the places that we've known Bella was last seen, or the certain places that we know her phone was pinging at. So those are the places that just keeps us drawing back to see if we can find anything new. If anything.
These cases here, they get to me. These, you think so? These cases here.
Or anyone has seen anything.
As the search continues in February, police
So here's this guy here, right?
released photos from the Globe area of a man they believe is Rodriguez driving Comas's car just hours after she was last seen. Those photos were a part of the update we received from police prior to our interview. But police told us they need tips and spoke with us in hopes of bringing this case back front and center. Here's our full interview. Thank you so much for sitting down with us talking about Isabella Comas's case. It is nearing now on 2 months since she was reported missing.
2 months. This was done March 11th. So February 11th, January 11th.
Where are you guys at in this case?
Yeah, and thank you so much for coming out and sitting down with us. The biggest thing that we want to do today is to get this case back into the public consciousness. Like you said, it's been 51 days since Isabella was last seen. And in that time, a lot has happened. We located her vehicle, we located her cell phone in different parts of Phoenix.
Yeah.
We found video surveillance of her vehicle and of a suspect who we believe to be.
Okay, so remember this face. Okay, remember that face. That looks similar. Just, I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching, maybe I'm reaching. All right.
Tommy Rodriguez in the Globe area on the night of, or the early morning hours of January 12th. And so, as you know, this investigation has been active and has been making progress. Mr. Rodriguez was arrested for stealing Isabella's vehicle later that week.
Because if if you add,
Mr. Rodriguez was arrested for stealing Isabella's vehicle.
if you add mustache here, the goatee here,
later that week, around 14th or the 15th of January. And, we want to get this back into the public consciousness because we have not received any tips in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And we're hoping that if we can bring this back up and remind the community that we are still looking for Isabella and we haven't found her yet and we need as much help as we can get. That's what our plea is to call us at 623-333-7001 or 480-WITNESS if you'd like to be anonymous. We did receive some tips after releasing the update about Globe in the early morning hours of the 12th, and some of those tips were helpful to the investigation. However, like I said, it's been a couple of weeks now since we've received any tips, and we're hoping that we can remind the community and remind the public that we're still looking. The turquoise alert is still active. As a reminder, the turquoise alert is a statewide alert similar to the amber alert, but the turquoise alert is for any person under the age of 65 when there's suspicious circumstances around their disappearance and they're believed to be in danger, which we had both with Isabella from the beginning. And so we still are also searching for that vehicle seat that I mentioned in my last update. And our main area of focus is Globe. We searched with Gila County Sheriff's Department in the Globe area in January.
there should be these cameras here, in my opinion, should be everywhere. But just very violent guy for sure, no doubt. Let me do some more digging here. So I did this earlier. So this is Avondale here, and Tucson is down here. So it's about 2 hours away. Just for kicks and giggles here.
With targeting specific locations in Globe that some of the evidence was leading us to. Unfortunately, nothing came up out of that search. Shortly after that, the community on their own, came together, kind of a grassroots, and organized a search. We did send a detective to be a part of that search in the sense that our detective was there to let them know we searched these places. That way they didn't search the same places again. And then also, if
one of these days before I die, I'm going to get out here. This looks like beautiful country here. Like I need to see any more mountains, but I wouldn't mind going out to some of these western, actual mountains here. Just looks beautiful here. Of course, I'd hate to be stuck out here in a car, but
if there was any evidence or anything that may lead the case forward, that detective would be there and be ready to get that information immediately. Unfortunately, nothing came.
We got Paula in here. Paula's amazing. Paula has a great channel. She does great critical reviews of movies. She just did one on Scream 7. I think Mustang's in here. Mustang's an amazing freaking human being. She's a great person. We got something else in here somewhere. She's probably fallen asleep already. That's okay. But they're great. They have great channels. They're great people. Shibby's was in here somewhere. Shibby's got a great channel too. He's in here somewhere. He was in here. Sweet dude Shibby. I think Jocelyn was in here. She's got a great channel too. And I truly don't mind promoting other channels in here. I know Hebby was in here somewhere at some point. Miranda Lee's in here. So if you guys got channels, feel free to throw them in here. You're awesome. All right, let's get back to this. But these cameras are helpful, especially out here, because if they don't have these cameras on these lights here, you're not going to get anything at all.
Came of that search either. So again, there's been a lot happening over the last 2 months, both locally and nationally. And our biggest,
I'll take your word for it, Paula.
Our biggest interest right now is to get this case back up into the public's consciousness and make that plea again and ask for more help with tips. Check your video surveillance again if you still have it from that morning of January 12th. We're not searching anywhere else in the valley. Our focus remains on Globe for Isabella. But hey, if you're in the Phoenix area, we do know that some of the evidence was recovered in the Phoenix area. So please also check your video surveillance and keep your eyes open.
Yeah. At this point in the investigation, is Tommy Rodriguez considered a person of interest still or a suspect at this time?
Well, I would say he's a person of interest in her disappearance, and he's a suspect in the sense that he was charged with theft of means of transportation for stealing her vehicle.
Yeah.
He does at this time remain our only person of interest in the disappearance of Isabella Comas.
Do you think that other people could be involved?
I got to get this. I got to print this here.
Though.
Of course, everybody I mentioned in here is innocent till proven guilty. Obviously, there's a lot of that stuff going on in the Nancy Guthrie case too. But my job here, I guess, is to just try to promote some of these cases, and hopefully they find, the people that are missing. That's all that really matters.
There's no information right now leading us to believe that anyone else is involved.
Yeah. Over 50 days into this, do you think that Isabella Comas is still alive?
Our hope remains that she is. From the very beginning of this investigation and until we conclude it, we will always be searching for her alive and well. And that's what our focus remains, and that's what our desire is. However, we are very worried about her. As I said at the beginning, we knew from the start that there was suspicious circumstances and that she was in danger, which is why we issued the turquoise alert. And then we found additional evidence, as you saw in my last update, with blood being in the vehicle, a large amount of blood being in the vehicle. We're very worried about her condition, but we always maintain hope that she's alive.
You mentioned the car. Obviously, we read from court documents a few things you guys found in the car in addition to the blood. Can you describe, though, the car? I mean, the passenger seat missing, and you said you found blood inside. I mean, what was the condition of that car?
Yeah, I can't speak really beyond that. So I'll just reiterate that the vehicle was found abandoned in the area of 67th Avenue and Indian School. Passenger seat was missing from the vehicle. It has yet to be recovered. There was blood, a substantial amount of blood found in the vehicle. And so there's absolutely cause for concern about Isabella's well-being. That blood did test positive to be Isabella's blood. So we're very worried about her, and we're still working to find her.
I know in those court records too, it mentioned pings from Isabella's cell phone. When you looked at those pings, there were pieces of evidence, including what seemed to be pink hair found in El Mirage. Has that been tested? Has that been come back as Isabella's?
I don't know. I don't know that information right now.
In terms of those cell phone pings and Isabella's cell phone, were you guys able to take a look at that and get any evidence from her phone?
So I can't speak to the specific evidence captured from her cell phone pings, but I guess what's important when it comes to that is the totality of the evidence, which may have included some of that, gave us some actionable locations in Globe to try and search for her, which unfortunately did not lead to us finding her. So,
Tommy Rodriguez, how quickly did he become a person of interest in this case? I know you guys believe that he's the last person that was with Isabella Comas.
Yeah, I don't have, an exact time or day, but I mean, it was within days. Isabella went missing, or she was last seen January 11th. And, he was arrested that same week within, 7 days for theft of means of transportation and criminal damage. And he was a person of interest at that time of his arrest and the disappearance of Isabella.
I know that he has an extensive criminal history, and some of that included stalking and possibly harassing, ex-relationships, ex-girlfriends. Do you believe that Isabella Comas was
Sounds like a really nice guy, right? They always do.
being stalked?
I don't know. I don't have any information on that.
Okay. In terms of the Globe area, I know that you guys have put out those really important photos that you believe is Tommy Rodriguez in the Globe area driving Isabella Comas's car. Do you know of any connection that he has to Globe? I mean, why would he be there?
No, I don't know of any connection that he would have. And I would also reiterate that we do believe that that is Mr. Rodriguez in that video surveillance, but it hasn't been confirmed yet.
Okay. Are you guys in touch with Tommy Rodriguez or his attorneys? Are you trying to get more?
Okay, so that was done on the 11th. I want to play, hold on a second here. I do want to play another one.
You can take care of the important stuff. Having a policy means your family has protection and peace of mind, and it does not have to be complicated or time consuming. That story out of the Phoenix area, and it involves.
Okay, so this was done 2 days ago. 21-year-old Isabella Comas vanished on January 2026 after being seen at a gas station in Avondale, Arizona, and her abandoned car was later discovered in Phoenix with a large amount of blood inside and the passenger seat missing. Investigators say the vehicle was later driven across the state and was allegedly being driven by 39. So this guy here was driving that car. A man police say had recently known Comas and had a violent criminal past. Rodriguez was arrested on charges relating to stealing and damaging her car, but has since posted bond. And that seems to be the issue here, is why he got bonded out, while Comas remains missing and detectives continue searching for answers about what happened to her. So here's this one here from Law and Crime.
Involves the woman you see here, Isabella Comas. This is one of the videos that she had posted to her TikTok account. She's 21 years old, and she has not been seen since January 11th. Now, this is a picture that was put out by police in Avondale, Arizona, which is west of Phoenix. And it's a picture of Isabella Comas at a Quick Trip gas station around 3 o'clock in the afternoon on that day, January 11th. Then the next day, she didn't show up for work. And that's when.
What did he just say? Quick Trip gas station? Okay. Gas. Did he say Quick Trick?
When people knew something may be wrong with Isabella. 2 days later, police found her red Hyundai Sonata in Phoenix, but there was no sign of Isabella. And there were also some major clues that raised concern that she may be in trouble. Police put out what was called a turquoise.
Okay, so they did put out a turquoise alert. She was last seen. I got to write this down. Hold on a second. 1120 West, and you're in Street, Avondale, AZ. Okay. Red colored. I gotta print this. I thought I did though. So she's a 21 years old, physical description, Hispanic female, 5'3". She's tiny too, 110 pounds, brown eyes and pink hair. Is that a real hair? Is that a wig? On January 11th, okay, so Isabel was seeing a red-colored Hyundai Sonata. They didn't say the year of the car.
Turquoise alert for Isabella. It's for adults who might be in danger, but they don't qualify for something like an amber alert or a silver alert. Now, what police found inside of her car that made this case so much more concerning. Police say inside the vehicle, there was a large amount of blood, and that blood reportedly matched Comas. Now, the passenger seat to the car, that was also missing from the vehicle, and it is still missing to this day. We'll talk about some of the other items found inside the vehicle that could be major clues down the line in just a moment. Now, police were able to use surveillance video to track down at least where the vehicle was for a period of time after Kamas went missing. On January 12th, that's the day that she did not show up for work, that car was seen at a gas station in Globe, Arizona. And that is a far way, if you know Maricopa County and the Phoenix area, from where she was last seen. She was last seen in Avondale, Arizona, far west of Phoenix. Globe, Arizona, where it was seen at a gas station, that is far east of Phoenix. Now, this is the man who...
Hey, Charles Manson is here. Charlie Manson is here. Good to see Charlie Manson. It's obviously he took her to the desert. Probably. Absolutely. Hold on a second. I want to go. So according to what he just said, she was last seen here. This is 11120 West Van Buren Street in Avondale, Arizona here. So this is what is this here? This is apartment homes here. These are apartments here. What's this? We're right there. We're right at, so this is, she was seen at these apartments. So there's got to be, it looks like there's probably a camera in here somewhere for cars going through and cars coming out. That's what I would guess. Okay. Huh. Good to see Chuck in here. Dieter's in here too.
Who authorities say was driving that car a day after Isabella was last seen. Tommy Rodriguez. He's 39 years old, and police say he was romantically involved with Isabella, but her family has pushed back on their relationship being anything serious. Isabella's mom told KTV in Phoenix that Rodriguez was more of an alleged stalker than a boyfriend. The two of them only knew each other for a couple of months, according to court documents. ABC 15 in Phoenix looked over the documents, and they say that the couple allegedly had a fight a day before Kamas was last seen at that gas station on the surveillance video. All right, let's talk about Rodriguez and what we know about him, because it is also very concerning considering his role as a person of interest at this point in Kamas's disappearance, because this is a man who has a violent past.
All right, so that's okay, Dieter. That's fine. I'm really good at putting people to sleep. That's for sure.
Local media has reported that in 2002, Rodriguez was just 15 years old when he reportedly shot and killed a nursing student in Phoenix. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, and he served more than a dozen years in prison.
Pretty sure you guys all know what a red Sonata looks like. They look
But then when he got out of prison, his trouble with the law continued. In 2020, Rodriguez was on parole, and he was arrested on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for what...
Yeah, he's 38 and she was 19. That's a little you in trouble again, Chuck?
He allegedly did to an ex-girlfriend. 12 News in Phoenix has the documents, and this is what they say went down in that case. Rodriguez tried to block with his car his girlfriend and her children from leaving a house. And as that was going on, the woman's ex-boyfriend showed up, saw Rodriguez fighting with her.
This guy right here probably should be in prison anyways.
And he allegedly tried to get in the way, and that's when Rodriguez...
He apparently can't take no for an answer.
Goes to his car, gets a machete and a hammer, and starts walking towards the boyfriend. Now, after all of this plays out,
That's right, buddy. It's good for business, right? If they can't, the older you get, the less like you are in the mood to play the games.
scary situation, the girlfriend reportedly did not want to press charges, quote, because she was afraid for her family. She told police that the defendant had been released from prison for murder, was jealous, and was like a stalker.
Defendant had been released from prison he probably was charged as a minor because of that. Because that's awfully quick to be getting out of prison for red rum, right?
End quote. Now, that case is unrelated to the one he is considered a person of interest in involving Isabella Comas. But when you hear that line, the fear that he had struck into a woman that he was dating in 2020, you certainly think about it with the details.
Dieter's amazing. Dieter's an awesome person. We love Dieter here. I hope Dieter's well. Hope everybody's well. So this is, I gotta print this out.
Details of this case and the questions that are unanswered at this point. In the case of Isabella, Tommy Rodriguez was arrested on charges that he stole and damaged her vehicle, but nothing else at this point as the search for Isabella Comas continues. Local media in Arizona has said that Rodriguez has not given an answer to law enforcement about where Isabella may be. ABC 15 says the court documents allege that investigators also found in her vehicle trash bags, gas canisters, and a tarp. And the trunk lining of the vehicle is also gone. Now, another part of this story I want to talk about, and in many of these missing persons cases, that cell phones, electronic devices, they can play a big role in tracking someone down. Well, a big clue in this case, potentially, as this case goes forward, is that Comas's phone was allegedly manually turned off, and then it was found dumped at a recycling center. Police arrested Tommy
Can't they get, oh, maybe not.
Rodriguez on January 15th in connection to Isabella Comas. But remember, it was only for the two charges of allegedly stealing her car and allegedly damaging her car. He's not facing any other charge.
Yeah, but isn't that grand theft larceny there? That's what is what is stealing a car, right? Grand Theft Auto, right? It's Grand Theft Auto. It's that could be, they could 16 months to several years in prison. So if they wanted to, they could just keep him there for a while.
Charges in this case. Police, though, they've continued to try to build their case, and yet there's still no sign of Isabella roughly 2 months after she went missing. And now they're going to have to continue building this case with Rodriguez no longer in custody. He was being...
Yeah, this is important for him because obviously they had him with the car. So that's Grand Theft Auto there. So that's, although the lawyer may be able to get out of that by saying, well, she let him take the car. Can't ask her. She's not around. I don't know.
Held on two $25,000 bonds. And one of the bonds was reportedly related to not following his probation requirements related to the 2020 assault case. So he's able to post that bond now, and he's out. He is on a GPS monitor. Now, this is the statement that the Office of the Public Defender...
I saw a video the other day of a cockatoo. What's a cockatoo? Is that a bird that was wearing the tiniest pair of duck crocs? Oh! It is a bird. The bird was quacking. It was so cute. Now I needed some of those shoes for my cockatoo. We'll have to get those shoes for you. She's very pretty here, for sure.
Released to ABC 15 in the wake of Tommy Rodriguez posting bond saying, quote, "At this time, we can confirm that Mr. Rodriguez is no longer in custody. We ask that his privacy and the privacy of his family be respected during this time. This case remains in its early stages, and it is important that the legal process be allowed to proceed before conclusions are drawn. Mr. Rodriguez continues to be represented by counsel, and any questions regarding this matter should be directed to his attorneys. Our justice system requires patience, fairness, and respect for the presumption of innocence while the evidence is reviewed."
Are you talking about the show Beretta? That was such a great show. Beretta was awesome. For those of us who could remember Beretta. Great show. They don't make them like that anymore.
And the case moves forward, end quote. And it is important to note that Rodriguez is not.
God damn, I'm old. If I can remember Beretta, I'm old. Tiny Crocs used to be in McDonald's Happy Meals. Emerald Wonderland is in here. Good to see Emerald Wonderland. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, Paula.
Considered a suspect at this point, but police in Arizona have labeled him a person of interest in Isabella's case. Now, Isabella's mom did give an interview to KTVK television over the phone, and she said that she believes that Rodriguez was pursuing her daughter, but she says the two were not dating. Quote, "We spoke to some of her friends, and they all shared concern for her when it came to Tommy. She would be hanging out with girlfriends or friends from school, and he would show up unexpectedly, causing a scene. He was very jealous," end quote. That is what Isabella's mom told the television station in her interview. Now, Isabella is someone who her family says loved them very much. She loved animals, she loved fashion, and her mom says that she continues to pray that her daughter is still alive. Anyone with information on where Isabella Camas may be and what happened to her, they are urged to call Avondale Police in Arizona at 623-333-7000 or 480-WITNESS. Isabella is described as standing at 5'3", weighing 110 pounds, with most recently pink hair and brown eyes. Join us now to talk more about this case is Sonny Slaughter, law enforcement instructor. Always great to have you here on Law and Crime. You know, in these types of cases, and Tom,
I love Sonny Slaughter. She's so awesome. She's just amazing. Didn't Beretta have Robert Blake? Yes. Old school for sure. She does. She does look like a model. I think that's what she was going for. And I think her life got taken short by this clown, but I could be wrong.
Tommy Rodriguez, the person of interest in relation to what happened and whatever happened to Isabella Camas, he was never charged with anything more than the alleged theft of the vehicle and then allegedly damaging the vehicle. And that is it. There's all this other evidence that's out there, but in terms of charges that he was held on, that's it. And he's able to post bond. And what do you make of that, considering we do hear about all this other evidence that he's not being accused of at this point, but there's all this evidence circulating about what happened to this woman. And here he is as a person of interest now on a GPS monitor, but no longer in custody.
You know, Chris, thank you first for having me. Always good to be with you. Always good to unpack these type of cases with you. I think this is very concerning.
Freaking love this woman. She's so awesome. She used to be on Gazella's Lives all the time. What the Gazella, you know who Gazella is, Grizzly, True Crime.
And disturbing in the community. It should be a red flag for the community when we have these bonds that don't make sense based on what we know. Now, of course, we don't know everything, but from an investigative lens, apparently there is some disconnect between the disappearance of this young woman, her car, and we don't know how she disappeared, whether it was with her car or without her car. I wasn't too clear about that. But the fact that he had it, he damaged it. He has a long history, extremely long history, dating back to when he was a juvenile, where he committed murder. And he has this violent history I'm concerned that the judge even considered allowing him a $25,000 bond. No, not a guaranteed bond, no cash bail. No, I mean, so he paid $2,500. I'm sorry, the bond was $25,000, but he paid $2,500. He gets out.
I was one of Gisela's first or probably first 100 or 200 subscribers when she was just starting out. Not saying I'm special or anything, but Gisela K is awesome. She's amazing. She's an amazing person. But Sonny Slaughter used to be on there all the time.
He's on an ankle monitor, which we know that sometimes how that works, that people can move around with those on or off. And we still don't know where this young lady is. Troubling circumstances. And I think the people in the community need to be alarmed by this.
So basically what we do here is if you have channels, feel free to post them in the chat. I don't have any problem posting or, promoting other channels here for sure. Who's on Patrol Live now? I missed that one. Sorry. So feel free to do that. We come here once a week on this channel here, usually early Sunday morning, to discuss the true crime cases of the week and stuff like that. And we have great people in here, like Chuck, Charlie Manson. We got Dieter in here. We got Beasley. We got all new people tonight. Southern Gal's in here somewhere. Dieter's amazing. Dieter's an amazing person. Heather Brown is in here somewhere. Heather's amazing. We got Miranda Lee's in here, Mustang, all these people. Paula, everybody's great in here. So good people.
Because I know it's different in different jurisdictions. And in this case, he is not facing a charge. And we don't know what happened to Isabella Camas. We do not know if she's alive. There's certainly, a lot of concern, but it's not like he's facing a murder charge. Right. This is a guy who's accused of stealing a car, a guy who's accused of damaging a car. And in terms of the black and white of it on paper, that's it. How much can judges actually look beyond the scope of just what's on that document? If this is all they've been charged with at this point, where is, not saying it's unfair, but it's like, if he's not being charged with murder, why does he have to be held any longer or on a bond higher than that? Like, how can a judge get to that point if that's not what he's been charged with?
Actually, that's a good question. And constitutionally, you don't want judges doing overreach. I said everything I said and then everything I said earlier. But what you don't want from judges is the overreach. You don't want judges violating anyone's constitutional rights. And you don't want judges not looking at the facts as they are laid out and presented before them.
Do I know who Emerald Wonderland is? Good to see you, though. Anyways.
Although I just made all.
Peggy O was in here too somewhere. Peggy O and Brian's got a great channel too. Brian knows was in here too.
All of the connectivity. The judge legally, constitutionally can only address what they have in front of him or them. And regrettably, the investigative process has not connected the dots enough for the judge to do more in this particular case.
But in this case, they can hold him for a while. I mean, he committed a pretty allegedly, anyways, committed a pretty good crime there. Grand theft auto. That'll get you at least a year. So they have a year to mate this out.
If it's the car, if it's the theft, it's the damage, then the $25,000 makes sense. The GPS monitor absolutely makes sense because you need to keep track of an individual who has a history of violent behavior and dangerous behavior, even though we don't know what happened to this alleged victim.
Well, it's good to see you anyways. You have family in Missouri, that's why? Okay. I don't think I have any family in Missouri.
Victim or potential victim, she just could be not able to communicate with folks or not willing to communicate with anyone.
Because it's one of those things where I feel like there's the constitutional argument of it, And then there's if you're this guy's neighbor, it's like, I don't care about the back and forth at law school that people can have about this. This is someone who was convicted of murder, someone who has an assault, a very scary assault situation that happened in 2020, was still on probation for that. And now you hear the details of this girl going missing. He doesn't have an answer for that. There's blood in the car. The passenger.
I just, the families, I feel bad for the families. Obviously, I feel bad for, the victim too, but the mom has got to be going through hell right now. The mom, immediate family is probably just, they want their daughter back. That's all they care about. When is St. Patty's Day? Did I miss that? Happy early St. Patty's Day to everybody, for sure. I can't believe it's already March 15th. It's crazy. All right, a little bit more of this, and we're going to move on to something else.
Seat's missing. The liner to the trunk is missing to the car. There are tarps in the car. Like, there's all these things that, like, if you're someone who is around this, if you're in this community, it's incredibly concerning that this person is allowed out, even if they're on a GPS monitor, just considering the history.
And you're absolutely right, which then ties back to what I said the first time. It is concerning. And although
Monday is St. Patty's Day. Okay, thank you, buddy.
Investigations take time. Gathering factual evidence take time. The people in the community should be concerned. They should be alarmed, and they should be watchful. I would suggest, if they have cameras, if they have animals that can sound an alarm, that they should have all of those things present, and people should know who he is. We see a picture of him, and they should be diligent and vigilant about what they are doing and about watching his actions and staying far.
Oh yeah, sorry, Tuesday. Off by a day. Oh, sorry. Hold on a second. I got something for myself here. It's the math thing.
Far away from this individual and individuals like him. They need to know we all need to know who we are living around. And, people tend to wear a mask, but this is a person, whether he is guilty of murder or not, has a propensity for crime and criminal behavior. And that should just.
This guy needs his face bashed in, is what I mean. The Gong Show.
Be enough for people in the community.
And again, we don't know what happened to.
I need for one of the sound effects here. I need a cuckoo bird. All right, so I'm going to get out of this here because I'm just talking about what could be and what should be. We'll keep an eye on that there, though. So let's get into the new any of the new information about the Nancy Guthrie case. I do want to play. Hold on a second. I want to play this here. Hold on a second here. I did want to get into this though too. So hold on a second. Let me play this here because this is going to be another one of those cases here. Hold on a second. Let me get out of this. Get back into the comments. I want to do this here because this is another chilling case right here. I've been following this for the past few days too here. Mobile County Sheriff Paul Birch announced 3 bodies were recovered Wednesday. So this happened 2 days ago. Recovered Wednesday afternoon, believed to be the missing Shock family. And there's a couple of these that I'll play here. Another one of these. We'll do this, and maybe we'll do part of the press conference here. And then we'll get into Nancy Guthrie here. Oh, sorry. Hold on a second.
5 starts right now with breaking news.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Devin Walsh. Thanks for joining us. We have some heartbreaking news from the Mobile County Sheriff's Office.
This is crazy. This is a crazy world, man.
The bodies, believed to be those of a missing Mobile County family, have been discovered in Baldwin County.
Yeah.
The Chalk family.
This little guy, looks like the mom here. and the daughter. All of these three people here, unfortunately, are no longer with us.
Of Theodore disappeared more than a month ago. And for weeks, a suspect has sat in Metro jail charged with kidnapping. Now investigators say they have what they need to charge him with capital murder. We have live team coverage this afternoon. Debbie Williams is at the site where authorities found the remains. But we begin with Kate Sherman live at the Mobile County Sheriff's Office. Kate.
The sheriff and others used words like evil, gruesome, and horrific to describe what they've uncovered. They believe they found the bodies of 40-year-old Aurelia Chalk, her 17-year-old.
We covered a little bit of this last week here, but they actually found the bodies, and I think they charged him this week with this. Pretty sure.
Daughter, New York Chalk, and her 2-year-old son, Anthony Garcia. Final forensic identification is still pending while autopsies are underway. But the discovery is enough for prosecutors to announce they're filing capital murder charges against the suspect, Hector Guerra, who's been in Metro jail since his arrest last month on kidnapping charges.
He's an evil person that will face his judgment soon.
Our work here is not done. We will continue and maintain our resolve to bring answers and justice to our community and to the Chalk family.
Among the questions still unanswered, how was the family killed, why, and whether anyone else was involved. Sheriff Paul Burge says he received a call from the White House.
Well, that's good news, Dieter. That's awesome good news. That's really good news. I learned something interesting this week. I had an eye appointment, was talking to the doc before she started, and I said, I've worn glasses for many years, but recently I don't need them. Apparently corrective lenses is a thing. Yes, my brother-in-law got that.
House this morning, offering the full resources of the United States government to assist investigators. Prosecutors plan to seek the death penalty. Live in Mobile, Kate Sherman, WKRG News 5.
Well, the bodies were discovered.
They throw those two words around, DP, all the time, right? Oh, we're gonna get the DP, capital punishment, right? We all know how this works, right? We've seen it over and over and over again, and it's unfortunate because they make it sound so critical, like, oh, we're gonna do the DP. But don't scare anybody anymore. You're not scaring anybody with that. Okay, what's gonna happen is there's going to be a 2-year waiting period, and right as soon as they get about to go to trial, guy's going to say, all right, let's make a deal, behind door number 1, we're going to go, I'll plead guilty if you give me life in prison. That's what happens every single freaking time.
In a wooded area off of County Road 38 in Summerdale. That's where WKRG News 5's Debbie Williams joins us live, where investigators are still actively working this scene. And
it's like this, oh, it's just so awful because it never happens.
Debbie, tell us exactly where you are.
Well, we are on Downing Road, Devin. This is just off County Road 38 in the Summerdale.
A freaking horrible person. Anybody that can do this is just an absolutely horrible person. Now, I understand that everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but you just know that's going to happen. You just know. I mean, we'll be sitting here 2 years covering it, and he'll plead guilty, and he won't have to say anything. He won't have to do anything. He's going to get free room and board for the next whatever time he's got left on this planet, and then live a great life behind bars after killing 3 innocent people. Just crazy.
Community. As you can see, there's still a significant law enforcement presence here. There's probably about a dozen vehicles here. We've got agents from.
Thank you, Paula. You're so amazing. You're absolutely a wonderful person. You'll never hear me say that, though, and I know I probably should, but, I'm honestly not here for any of that stuff. I just come on here and try to get some of these cases out that try to do the best I can, that's all.
From the FBI, from HSI, some local law enforcement as.
But thank you, Paul. I really appreciate that.
Well, I spoke with a lady who lives just around the corner here who said that there had been a huge law enforcement presence here since Wednesday morning. They worked through the night and are still moving in and out of the woods. We have seen them come out with bags of what we presume is evidence, and some of the agents leaving the area.
That piece of shit there, BTK, right? Just, just want somebody to take a baseball bat to his face. Just it never happens. These people, he's got a maid in prison. He's got it made. He probably has his own private cell where people just bring shit. It's like he's living like a king in there. I would have paid. It should like a pay-per-view thing where you can actually, witness him getting his face bashed in for taking so many lives. Just, but doesn't happen.
It appears they are concentrated in an area that's just not far off the road, maybe about 20 or 30 yards. That's where the bodies of what is believed to be the Shock family were discovered. The connection to this area and the suspect, Hector Guerrera, not clear at this time. There's still a lot of questions with very few answers as far as this part of the investigation goes. Live on the Baldwin County beat in Summerdale, Debbie Williams, WKRG News 5.
Let's recap what we know right now. The Chalk family of Theodore was reported missing on January 30th.
Remains found and suspect now facing capital murder. See, this is the thing. They say big capital murder charges. Like that's anything different, right? And you wish it was different where they actually meant this shit, right? But they don't. They don't. They cave every single time because it comes down. What it comes down to is money. And a lot of these principalities and smaller, counties and areas don't have the money for these big trials, so they cave. If somebody says, I'll just do this, I'll plead guilty if you give me the life prison thing, they'll do it.
First, the investigation led to a search of a property in Summerdale last night where crews found the remains.
I mean, what did this little kid do? What did he do wrong? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It's believed to be those of the family. The suspect, Hector Guerrera, was already in custody, charged with kidnapping. Now prosecutors are adding capital murder charges.
All right. So let's see here. We'll play a little bit of this here.
Thank y'all for coming this morning. You can clearly see why you're here, and the yesterday afternoon discovery was made and recovered the bodies who we believe to be the Chalk family. The sizes are consistent, and there were 3 bodies recovered. We believe it's going to be Aurelia Chalk Cack, Nerica Zuletta Chalk, 17 years old, and Anthony Garcia Chalk, 2 years old. The suspect.
This is why I couldn't have been a cop. This is the reason why, because if you come up on a scene like that, where you have, this might be a little triggering, sorry, but if you see 3 bodies like that, just dead for no reason, little kid, I wouldn't have been able to handle that.
Hector Argueta.
I mean, not just, emotionally, but, yeah, I would have taken it out on something, like.
Guerrera is still in custody at Metro Jail. Keith Blackwood with DA's office will discuss charges coming up on him.
That's what I mean. You got all of these 2-week trials, 3-week trials. Sometimes trials go 4 weeks. You got to hire all these. Cost the county money. It's a big thing. And if they can get out of it with just, a plea and a couple of hours in court here, it's so much more cost effective for sure.
And I will say, can't say enough about the partnership with the FBI and Homeland Security. And they will briefly talk about their involvement and get in what detail that we can about what was discovered yesterday. There's a lot of things that I know y'all have answers that we will not be able to answer at this time. It's still very much an active investigation. We also, couldn't have done it without Baldwin County Sheriff's Office. And I do want to mention Rob Middleton Construction provided equipment and operators to help with the excavation. And so that just goes more toward community partnerships. And, and I will say before I turn it over that the delay was we just received a call from the White House offering their full support of U.S. government in this operation. So with that, I'll turn it over to Sarah Jones.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Jones. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI's Mobile Field Office. The FBI stands shoulder to shoulder with our partners.
How is she tall? Look at this. But she must have, maybe she's got high heels on probably, but she's tall.
Work together to advance investigations, and as we have from the inception of this case, to bring every resource to bear. Absolutely every single resource we and our partners could bring to bear in this instance. It's through those resources, our special agents, our intelligence.
These are all pre-done statements because you hear the same thing every single time. These are all, these must be like, you probably have to pass some sort of a test to say these statements.
Intelligence analysts, our tactical specialists, together with our specialty teams, our evidence response teams, our digital and cellular analytic capabilities, our canine units that worked in conjunction with our partners in a coordinated and very dedicated way to continue to move this investigation forward. It's our coordinated boots on the ground efforts, our traditional law enforcement capabilities that continue to uncover evidence in this case, and we will continue to work together. Our work here is not done.
Yeah, it's like they have a list of things they have to say, a list of things they can't say. It's all pre-scripted.
We will continue and maintain our resolve to bring answers and justice to our community and to the Chalk family. Thank you.
Morning, PJ Lavoie, Assistant Special Agent in charge here in Mobile with HSI. HSI
looks like he just got up. Looks like he just woke up.
I is proud to support and stand next to our partners up here and advance this to this spot in the investigation as we are now. And much as what SAC Sarah Jones had said, analytical support, boots on the ground with agents, working day and night to get to where we are now. Thank you.
Sheriff.
I'll just say I just appreciate the partnership that we have with our federal partners and obviously our partner sheriff across the.
I thought they were going to say something important, but obviously they're not. They're not going to answer any questions, so there's no need to watch that. I'll keep monitoring this though too. Actually, we'll play this here.
This is a story we've been following for weeks.
Warrants have now been signed upgrading charges against the man accused of kidnapping and killing a Theodore family.
Hector Gamaliel.
Unbelievable. Just unfreaking believable.
Argueta Guerra now faces multiple counts of capital murder. Our Brendan Kirby is joining us now with the very latest.
And Brendan, you're getting new information about why investigators are confident the bodies they found are the missing family.
That's right. Like, we needed to hear his 20 seconds. Is that what the press conference is all about? To just hear about the same exact thing that the lady just said before him? I mean, that's why I don't like to do a lot of press conferences, because it's all bureaucratical and it's just, three people are no longer here. And I know, they can't have a lot of emotions because they're, law enforcement and stuff like that, but you never get any answers ever.
Cameron and Lenise, a full forensics investigation will take some time, but sheriff's investigators say, along with the bodies, they found jewelry bearing the name.
Hi, Latoya. Why are you in the hospital? Tell us what's going on, Latoya. Latoya's here. I hope you're okay. Why are you in the hospital? Please let us know what's going on, Latoya. All they do is thank each other. Yeah, that's exactly. Nobody cares. I mean, nobody cares. I don't care about that. I hope you're okay, Latoya.
Names of the mother, Aurelia Chalk, and of her 2-year-old son, Anthony Chalk. Mobile County District Attorney Keith Blackwood says prosecutors will seek the death penalty against the man they say is responsible for their deaths. The weeks-long search for a Theodore woman and her 2 children ending in tragedy. Mobile County Sheriff Paul Birch says investigators on Wednesday found 3 bodies in a wooded area of Baldwin County associated with Hector Gamaliel Algareta Guerra.
He's an evil person that will face his judgment soon.
Sheriff Birch and Mobile County District Attorney Keith Blackwood say they're confident the bodies belong to Ariella Chalk and her 2 children.
This is awful. This is terrible. That's why I hate doing this shit. It's this. Look at these people. Why? The neighbors awake and try to make contact, knock on door, no answer. Neighbors call daughters.
17-year-old Eureka Chalk and 2-year-old and
this poor kid. Why? Look at how cute this kid is. Just amazing. This is just
Anthony Garcia Chalk.
Conclusive forensic identity will take some time. There is enough evidence in this case for us to determine that this is the Chalk family that we've been searching for.
The property where the bodies were found is located in a wooded area off Downing Road, east of Summerdale, one of several properties linked to Algareta Guerra where investigators previously had searched. A cadaver dog alerted to a spot during what Sheriff Birch describes as a routine follow-up. This is the spot where investigators found the bodies in a shallow grave. Investigators spent Thursday continuing to
Thank you, Mustang, for putting that in there.
Gather evidence at the scene. Sarah Jones, special agent in charge of the FBI's Mobile Field Office, says her agency will continue to support the effort any way it can.
It's our coordinated boots on the ground efforts, our traditional law enforcement capabilities that continue to uncover evidence in this case, and we will continue to work together. Our work here is not done. We will continue and maintain our resolve to bring answers and justice to our community and to the Chalk family.
Sheriff Birch declined to discuss the evidence in detail, and he says some questions remain unanswered, including what might have motivated such a vicious attack.
What motive would there be for killing a 2-year-old?
To the capital murder charges, Algareta Guerra also has been charged with 3 counts of abuse of a corpse and obstruction of justice. Prosecutors say he gave a false name when he was originally arrested on kidnapping charges. His bond hearing is set for tomorrow afternoon. I asked Sheriff Birch if there are possible accomplices. He says he's not going to speculate.
Brendan, do investigators believe the homicides happened in Baldwin or Mobile County and then the bodies moved?
Well, they're not sure, Lenise, but DA Blackwood.
That was a good question. Because if they were moved, I think they can get him for something else too.
Says from a legal standpoint, it doesn't matter. Since the event started here, this is where the case will be prosecuted. Reporting live in the news center, Brendan Kirby, Fox 10 News.
Look at that. Oops,
Mother and 2 children murdered by a weapon that's yet.
Hold on a second. Let me go back.
This is a story we've been following for weeks. It's happened in Baldwin.
Never mind. We all know how cute the little kid is. It's awful. It's just terrible. It's terrible. All right. I'm gonna move on here to. Hold on a second here. I'm not going to play that whole thing. I do want to get to the Nancy Guthrie thing, the latest on the Nancy Guthrie thing, but hold on a second. Let me figure out what the hell I'm doing here. let's do an update here. Give me a second, please. All right. Let's do this one here. Okay, so let me share this here. Yes, disturbing a crime scene, something like that, probably. All right. First of all, let's go back to, hold on a second. Let's go back to, I can close out some of my windows here. I can actually, all right, hold on a second here. Let me get to this here. Hold on a second. Okay, so I want to go back to the timeline here again. Okay, because I got some stats here. Hold on a second here. I'm gonna stop sharing this really quick and go. I want to go here. Okay, so here's where this is where we're stuck right here. Okay, so I want to go now. I want to go right here. Okay, so I did this before. Okay, so let's go to this timeline. Okay, so I've changed my mind on this thing here again. Because I had this at early on. I had this as a burglary kind of situation here. But I've completely changed my mind on that now. Now I'm saying that this is my opinion. I have no clue to what happened in this case, right? But the timeline to me on this whole case has always been disturbing, and I know people don't want to talk about stuff like this here, but I do have some statistics to kind of back this shit up here, right? So Saturday, January 31st, 2026, right? So she leaves her house. She takes an Uber to her daughter's home for dinner. She's done at 9:58. She gets dropped off at 9:58. She goes in her house at 9:50. And at 1:47, a doorbell camera is disconnected or removed. We don't know if they got I'm pretty sure they don't have the actual doorbell camera. And then 212 motion was detected with someone tampering with the device. So they have that. And then a 228 Guthrie's bedside pacemaker monitored is disconnected from the source, right? So now let me get out of this here. Hold on a second here. I want to go. Is she okay? I hope you feel better, Latoya. I still don't know what's going on here. Hold on a second here. Okay, so here's some stats. Most, and this is why I've had a problem with this timeline for the longest time, because every time you come up with a scenario here, whether it's a kidnapping gone wrong, burglary gone wrong, family For me anyways, the timing is the time that this crime actually happened is a problem. So I just did a little bit of AI overview here on burglaries. Most residential burglaries occur during the day, specifically between 10 and 3 p.m. Basically, burglars want to get in and get out. They don't want to confront anybody. They're basically looking for easy access stuff, TVs, VCRs, whatever. Years ago, it used to be jewelry that they can pawn and stuff like that, right? These are the facts. Peak hours, the most common window is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. with a high concentration of break-ins occurring around lunchtime. Weekdays, Monday through Friday, usually that's when people are working, right? Holidays. Why the daytime burglars look for empty houses and daytime afternoon hours offer the lowest chance of people coming home, right? Seasonal trends, burglaries are higher during summer months, June to August, due to longer and warmer days. It's probably easier to burglar a home when it's warm out than freezing freaking cold. Evening risk, while less common at daytimes, the secondary risk window is between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. And that could be because people are out maybe for dinner, like she was. And occupancy patterns. Most people are at work or school during these hours, leaving homes predictably empty. Thieves can blend into neighborhoods as delivery drivers, maintenance workers, solicitors, without raising so much suspicion at night. Visibility, better lighting, all of that stuff. So basically what I'm trying to get at is there's some statistics to back up that. Let's go back to hold on a second here. This here. So the issue is the time, right? Like a few weeks ago, I came up with an idea that maybe it's possible that they were already in the house. Whoever it was already in the house when she got home. But I'm kind of backing off that now quite a bit. This timeline here is a problem because this person here, whoever did this, like if you're a burglar and you're going into a house, you're probably going into a house when nobody's home. That's basically my point. The 2 o'clock thing is different because I think, and I'm not a psychologist, I'm not any type of mental know-it-all, but for me anyways, a 2 o'clock person breaking into a house is a completely different criminal than a person who breaks into a house at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, so let's play. I think this is a much more sinister crime than people are willing to accept. I think that this could be a much more deviant type of crime because somebody who comes in at 2 o'clock in the morning and does this stuff is a completely different person than somebody that comes in to try to steal shit during the day. That's all I'm saying. And I have evidence to back that up. That's why I played that earlier case about the person who unalived that elderly person in Danvers, because I think that this is a much more deviant crime than people think. All right, so let's go here. And that's why the body was taken, in my opinion, because everybody says, well, why take the body? Well, the body has all the evidence on it. So if you're going to do stuff like this here, you want to take the body, because if they find the body, they're going to find the evidence. So here's, let's play this here. Okay, so let's play this here.
Hi there, I'm Natasha Zu.
So I don't know if you guys ever remember Ramirez, the Night Stalker, so-called Night Stalker, anyways. He targeted elderly women too, or elderly people. There's another guy too, forget his name. I think it was Morner or something. But there have been serial killers and just overall sicko people who have targeted elderly people. And I'm going to play after this a case where that happened.
This is the Truth of the Matter podcast.
Nancy Guthrie.
What I'm saying is I think this is an SA crime. That's just my opinion.
Savannah's beloved mother has been reported missing in Arizona.
She hasn't been seen or heard from. Concern is growing, and all indications are that she was kidnapped.
For now, that security video seems to be the strongest piece of evidence in this case, though there is still hope in the DNA.
We need to know where she is. We need her to come home.
On January 31st, when the sun set in the Catalina foothills of Tucson, Arizona.
In my opinion, the person on that porch is psychotic. The person on that porch rings psychopath to me.
No one suspected that the quiet neighborhood would soon become the epicenter of a frantic international search for the mother of Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie, a search that has gripped the nation. It's been more than a month since Nancy Guthrie.
And I was on Surviving the Survivor. I think that's the name of the channel. It's a channel when Ann Burgess is on all the time. Surviving the Survivor, something like that. As far as I'm concerned, Ann Burgess is the smartest freaking person in the universe when it comes to this stuff, because she almost like knows the mind more than anybody else, literally. And she agrees. Like this person here that shows up on a doorstep of an elderly person, 84 years old, at 2:00 in the morning, is not looking for shit to steal. That's just my opinion. It's a completely different animal here. This, in my opinion, this is a psychotic, twisted, sick motherfucker. That's just my opinion.
Vanished without a trace in the early hours of February 1st. Investigators say she was abducted from her home, and so far no suspects nor clear leads have been identified. Right now, the FBI is looking into a possible internet blackout on the night she disappeared. One neighbor telling News Nation that his Ring camera history is suspiciously not available on that night.
Because if you're burglaring the house, why take the body? Why go through all that trouble to take a body? Burglars don't want to do that. But burglars are probably coming in without a car. I mean, the burglar's probably right around the house. I mean, it's dark in that neighborhood, so why bring a car? I mean, why take the body? That's what I'm talking about. Every time you go down a road here of it's a burglary gone wrong, it's a kidnapping gone wrong, where's the communication? Usually with a kidnapping, there's some sort of communication back and forth between, because they're looking for money. A kidnapping is looking for money. And that's why they kidnap. There's been no proof of life whatsoever. I mean, all of these things, all of these theories you go through, there's kind of like that booby trap at the end to like, well, why did they do that? I mean, I think that this 2:00 in the morning, I think is accurate. And I think this person on the porch knew exactly what he was up to, exactly what he was doing. He was brazen about it. He went right through the front door. She was probably incapacitated to begin with. And this guy here, this is just my opinion. I think this guy is a sick, twisted individual. That's just me. And he took the body out of the house because the body had all the evidence to it.
Other neighbors confirming that the FBI has
And they may never find her.
been asking about service disruptions. Questions now swirling. Did the person caught on chilling surveillance video have a signal jammer? One of those could have sparked the outage. Much about this case still not known. Here is what we do know. The blood found on Nancy Guthrie's doorstep was confirmed to be hers. We also know foreign DNA that does not match Nancy's, was found in the 84-year-old's home. Unfortunately, that DNA does not match any in the federal DNA database, and the sheriff says
I think he was in there. Whoever this was in there for, I think, 40 minutes, 42 minutes, somewhere around there, because by the time, if you go back to the time frame, if this is accurate anyways, he was in there a good 40 minutes or so, because by the time the pacemaker misses its scheduled transmission, that's about 40 minutes or so. He wasn't playing tiddlywinks in there. I can guarantee you that much right now. He was probably, I think this guy is a sick, twisted, just, and it could be an older teenager, just with a demented, sicko.
the DNA samples are mixed, which presents a unique challenge. Still, there is hope this case may be solved with the forensic tool of investigative genetic genealogy. The technique has recently made headlines for cracking open the vicious quadruple stabbing murder of the Idaho Four in November of 2022.
News Nation can confirm an arrest has reportedly been made in the quadruple stabbing death of 4 college students in Moscow, Idaho.
Investigators in that case were able to link DNA that was found on a knife sheath at the crime scene to a relative of Brian Kohberger. They then matched the crime scene DNA to a Q-tip found in Kohberger's parents' garbage can. And once he was arrested, got a direct sample from Kohberger himself, confirming the match.
We have an individual in custody who committed these horrible crimes.
Why did you do it?
That's JLR. He's everywhere. See, Brian Kohberger made a mistake. This guy here, and this guy probably did too. But psychopaths are completely different, in my opinion, than just your regular burglary, car thief. There's some kind of controlling system to people who do stuff like this at 2:00 in the morning, where it's more about power, the control, the fact that if you go into somebody's house at 2:00 in the morning, it's more of like, see, I can do this to you and you can't do anything about it. And they usually target people who can't defend themselves. Ramirez was notorious for that. I think Israel Keys was like that too, where he would target people. And I think this guy here, whoever did this, had some sort of a kit that was in that backpack. He had some sort of a transfer kit or kill kit inside that backpack.
Kohberger was sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole in July of 2025. Genetic genealogy also helping to solve a series of brutal crimes that stumped even the most seasoned of investigators in California for decades. The Visalia ransacker, the East Bay rapist, and the original Night Stalker terrorized Californians for years.
This is a bold psychopath. I think he's probably about as close to the boogeyman as you can get.
In 2001, DNA technology linked at least 50 rapes and 13 murders, science proving it had been the work of one very elusive and violent perpetrator. 12 years later, true crime writer Michelle McNamara coined the name Golden State Killer, unifying the Visalia ransacker, East Bay rapist, and original Night Stalker crime.
Okay, so hold on a second to go here. Shemarin. Is it Shemarin? I can't pronounce the next last name. Billy Shemarin no, Schirmer. I don't know how to pronounce that. But Billy Schirmer, Texas, he was in Texas, convicted of murdering or unaliving 2 elderly women, but suspect of killing at least 18 or more in the Dallas area, often by suffocating while stealing jewelry. So the jewelry thing, I think, was just the stealing thing was just kind of like a control thing with this guy here. There he is right there. So this is one, you know, suspect here, accused of murders of at least 18 elderly women in Dallas, Texas. Schumacher was indicted for 22 murders, convicted of 2. Let's see here. So he was accused of posing as a medical professional or maintenance person and gaining access to the properties of at least 21 elderly people. Police in several North Texas communities have investigated Sherman for additional victims, believing that, let's see here. So these are the victims here, 91, 94, 82, 82, 83. So this is possible. I mean, people do this stuff. And sometimes for really, really disturbing, hold on a second here. Let's go to, oh, I had it. Hold on a second, Richard. Let me play this one here. Yes. Hold on a second here. So this guy here too, this guy was a psychotic piece of dog shit here. Richard Ramirez, everybody knows about this guy here. But he attacked elderly people too. 79-year-old Jenny Vincow was found unalived in her apartment. She had been stabbed repeatedly in the head, neck, chest while she slept. I mean, this guy here, it does happen. I mean, so that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. Not saying that's 100% here, but that's what I think is going on here.
Crimes. The move helped to rekindle the public's attention as investigators worked quietly in the wings, combining old-fashioned detective work with the use of genetic genealogy. Investigators put DNA from a semen sample collected in a 1980 Ventura County double murder into a genealogical website to identify potential family members of the killer. The investigation eventually leading detectives to a trash can where they found a tissue discarded by
this guy here. Oh.
Joseph James D'Angelo. D'Angelo was arrested in April of 2018 and sentenced to life in prison in 2020.
There was a purely evil presence in our home, a diabolical, depraved, mumbling, and weeping being in human form.
Genetic genealogist C.C. Moore has been at the forefront of this technology. She and her team helping to solve well over 300 cases and counting. And she joins us now. C.C., thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited about getting to talk about these things more deeply with you because you always have great questions, but we're always rushed when it's live. So this is a great opportunity.
I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to diving deeper as well. And specifically, it's interesting. You've said that mixed samples are common, especially when a victim fights back. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, I didn't have any experience with law enforcement until almost 8 years ago now, when I joined forces with Parabon to help law enforcement solve a lot of these types of cases. So it was very eye-opening to me to learn about these forensic samples that they have to deal with and how challenging.
This woman right here is wicked smart too. But I want to get out of here and I want to play this one here. Hold on a second. Because I don't think DNA is going to solve this case. Hold on a second. Which one was I going to do? Right here. No, this one here. Okay. Okay, so here we go.
In the search for Nancy Guthrie, investigators have reported.
So apparently they have more surveillance images out on the back side of her property there, but I don't think they're going to get anything from it because it's just motion censored stuff.
Reportedly uncovered more images from her home camera captured before her disappearance. And tonight as well, the sheriff is raising real concerns that the kidnapper could potentially strike again, as forensic scientists believe DNA now could.
That's what I think. I think this guy is this guy here, whoever did this, may be a budding SKer.
Hold the keys to this case. Our Brian Enton back for us once again. Tucson, Arizona tonight with the very latest. Brian?
Yeah, hey, Blake. It's day 41, if you can believe it, in the search for Nancy Guthrie. I'm still outside Nancy's house here, and there's been quite a few developments over the last 24 hours. You mentioned it. First of all, reports that the FBI now has images from other cameras on Nancy Guthrie's property. Remember, we first only saw the images in the video from the Google Nest camera right on Nancy's front door. We were wondering, because we knew there were other cameras, one on the side, one in the back near the pool. And we are learning now that the FBI was able to obtain images from those other cameras. But here's the catch. It's not video. It's actually only thumbnail images. So every time motion was detected, apparently a thumbnail image was created. And that is what the FBI has. They don't have the full images or the videos, just the little thumbnails. And we are told that anything around the time frame of when Nancy was abducted is missing, is not there, which is kind of interesting to think about why that time frame is missing. You know, there's been these questions about, was there like a signal blocker used? Some other neighbors reported internet outage, and apparently her cameras also did not have.
This guy here, just the way he's dressed, right? Like this. The gun placement here is not normal. This is not a normal behavior. Very few people will carry a firearm like this, if that's even a real gun, right? Like, and this backpack here is just, to me, this guy looks like a psychopath. He looks like he's there for one reason and one reason only. Just my opinion.
Any images or video right from that time frame when she disappeared, Blake?
It's not video. See.
And I think there's some stats out there that most burglars don't bring a weapon to burglar. I could be wrong.
Seems like from a past era. Do we know if the images are clean or clear?
No, and they're just thumbnails, and you know how small thumbnails can be. So, and it apparently doesn't help much because it doesn't have the time around when she was abducted. It does. They do show some people from previous days, which could be helpful. They can go back and look and see who those people are. In fact, they even apparently showed the police when they first showed up on scene. So maybe there'll be some helpful things there. But the fact that it doesn't show anything from right when she was taken is obviously not a good thing.
And Brian, what can you tell me about the DNA?
Yeah, so we're still waiting. The big question here is the DNA inside the house, whether they're going to be able to use it. We know that it was mixed. I actually went to a DNA lab at Arizona State University. It was fascinating learning about how this process worked. And the forensics professor there zeroed in on something that I hadn't thought about. The fact, you know, the suspect had the ski cap on, the balaclava, but the mouth was still uncovered, which is a big deal because that means spit was coming out, which is very, very important for finding DNA. Listen to what she said to me, Blake. The nose, is that a very good thing?
It is a good thing, but knowing where he was at inside the home would be very difficult.
So just because he...
Are you okay, Mustang? I hope you have a good night. Thank you so much for... Mustang's awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Mustang. Really appreciate you being here. Hope you have a great night, a great week. Stay safe.
He was in there breathing and spit was coming out.
We wouldn't
That
know.
doesn't tell us much about... They can't check the whole house.
They can look, but unless he spit a lot, they're not going to see a large quantity, and it's not going to fluoresce.
So it's kind of interesting. The saliva.
This guy knew. This guy knew exactly what he was doing. This guy knew. I mean, everybody keeps talking like this guy here is an idiot, but I think this guy knew exactly what he was doing.
Apparently, it's important if there's a large quantity, but just in terms of breathing and a little bit of spit coming out, she was explaining to me that is not always that helpful. But she was hopeful overall about the DNA. You know, science is improving every single day, and she's hopeful that they will be able to do the genetic genealogy and that may end up breaking the case open, Blake.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get out of that for now. I got to get out of here soon. Everybody's got to go to bed. Me too. I do want to play. I do want to play one more thing. Hold on a second here. I gotta find it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. And this will kind of tie nicely into my theory here. Wait 2 seconds here. And I really had to fight and search for this because I thought it was a big case, but apparently not. But I did end up finding it. So this guy here, this kid here, hold on a second here. Yeah, we'll play this one here. Okay. So I don't know if you guys know about this guy here, but this was this kid here. Nobody would have ever guessed would have done this. So this guy here, I remember this case here because I've heard it so many times. Because that's all I do pretty much when I drive around at night is listen to these cases here. But this kid here was found guilty killing this Wadsworth woman. I think this was in Ohio? I don't know. But anyways, this guy here basically unalived this 98-year-old Wadsworth woman for apparently no reason. And if you ever want to see a good interrogation, watch this one here. Because he's in there with his mom and they thought I forget, I'm pretty sure the mother went in there because they thought he was had shoplifted something or whatever. But anyways, this is tying into this case, and I think this may be very similar to what's going on here with the Nancy Guthrie thing.
No agreements reached with respect to sentence. We will be asking for a mitigation hearing and a sentencing hearing to be set at a later date and time.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ramsey? Would you stand, please? It is my understanding that today you wish to withdraw your previously entered pleas of not guilty and entered pleas of no contest to the indictment. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
In order.
So this kid here, out of the blue, just literally attacked this 98-year-old woman here and killed her. No one would have ever guessed it was him. This was 7 years ago. So let's play. Yeah, we'll do this one. It's possible. It's possible.
Have a dialogue to confirm that you are.
It's possible, Paula.
Are making a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary decision to enter plea with an understanding.
But I think in the Nancy Guthrie thing, I think this is a sinister person. I think this person here is either some sort of a psychopath who has absolutely no empathy for anything whatsoever. And in my personal opinion, I think this is just a sadistic SA type of crime. And he came prepared.
Understanding the constitutional rights that you may be waiving in this matter, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you indeed the Gavin M. Ramsey who is named in the indictment in case number 18 CR 0548?
I just wanted to play that
As you stand
because it took me tonight almost an hour to find this case. I thought it was I thought it was let me see if I can find it earlier than that. I thought it was Wadsworth. Interrogation, this one. This here. This is the one here. If you want to watch, am I still sharing? Okay, hold on a second. And then I'm going to play one more thing and then I'm going to get out of here. Anyways, so if you want to watch a good interrogation, this one right here with this kid, here's the kid that we were just watching here. And this is his mom. And they brought him in here to, both of them in here to talk about another crime that they thought he might have, or he might have had some information about it, but they knew from his demeanor that he's kind of the one that did it. This is a great interrogation here. Sometimes these investigators do awesome work, just awesome work, without being too like punching in the face stuff. But anyways, let's get out of here. I do want to play one more thing and then we'll leave. I want to play this cold case here that got solved. Let's see here if I can find it. You guys have been patient with me tonight. I appreciate it. This one right here. This is going to come from Newsday here. All right. Okay, so let's play this one here and then we'll get out of here. Thank you so much, Les. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is the one here. This goes all the way back to 1974, I think. This is so she was 31 when she was unalived in her home in 1974. 52 years later, her cold case unaliving is solved. Eric Waldman brushed the snow away from his mother's headstone. This is going to be sad. So just in case, yeah, here we go.
A cold case that lingered on Long Island for more than 50 years has now been solved. It was back in 1974 that Barbara Waldman was found bound.
1974, I was 7. I was 7. Really good music, though, 1974.
And shot in the head inside her Oceanside.
All on AM radio. You were lucky if you had FM radio because most cars didn't have FM radio, AM and AM only.
Home. Sherry Einhorn tells us.
I don't even think people know what AM is anymore. AM is the morning. Look at
about the break police and her family needed to finally find closure.
Hey, Mom. Miss you. Love you. Wish you were here. And they found your murderer.
It's over. A 52-year-old Long Island cold case solved. The victim was Barbara Waldman. She was the young wife of a popular neighborhood dentist and mother of 3. Her body was found bound and gagged with a gunshot to the head inside her Oceanside home. Her youngest son, Eric, made the gruesome discovery after coming home from kindergarten.
This is such a sad story. I mean, this kid here actually came home to this. Imagine that, right?
It was January 11th, 1974.
That image has been in my head for 52 years.
His older sister, Marla Waldman Kahn, vividly remembers what their dad said to his kids, ages 5, 6, and 7.
He grabbed us over and he said, your mom, a bad man, came in the house and your mom's in heaven. She's not coming home.
Oh, Susanna, did you cry for me? I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. It
siblings say their family never talked about the murder. Not with their father, not with his new wife, not with each other.
Pictures came off the walls. Pictures were packed up.
I don't think the three of us have ever been together in this corner in 52 years.
The Waldmans reached out to Newsday in 2025 about their mom's case after seeing a story we did called The Forgotten on WLIW Channel 21, looking at women found dead on Long Island.
It seems as if a lot of these women have been forgotten. The families haven't forgotten them, but I think many other people have.
The house on Sally Lane in Oceanside may have a new family living there, but old memories still haunt the Waldmans.
Honestly, I see evil. It's not even a good memory. There were lots of great memories to start, but
yeah,
I don't see the happiness.
This poor guy, he like literally had to live his entire life seeing images of, it's almost like Dexter, right? Images of just, I mean, I don't know how you live with that. I don't know how you move on from that. I probably wouldn't be able to do that.
I see the what could have been.
Neighbors described a man seen leaving the house after the murder. Police ended up with a sketch of a suspect, but couldn't match it to a person for decades. They also had a sample of body fluid from the victim's robe, but DNA testing wasn't done back in 1974.
Of course, that's a day that I'll never forget. None of us will.
Stanley and Fran Roban were neighbors and friends of the Waldmans.
Unfortunately, there was a lot of speculation about who did it, and being the husband, there was a lot of people said, well, maybe Jerry had something to do with it.
I bet you the husband probably got raked through the coals. Like he probably, I mean, that's what happens with these things. These unalivings. They don't just unalive the person. They basically unalive everybody around them. It's so, it's awful. It's terrible. These people never had a normal life ever after that. And you go from being normal to, this in a second like that. Just terrible.
We knew better because we knew Jerry and Barbara very well.
The sketch doesn't look like Jerry, but neighborhood gossip was brutal, making it even more difficult for the kids. In 2004, he gave a DNA sample and was excluded as a suspect, but the case was cold, and the family tried to move on with their lives, always wondering, always waiting for answers. Dr. Waldman died.
Look at these colors back then. It's like you can't duplicate the colors back in the 70s, man. You just can't do it.
Always wondering, always waiting for answers. Dr. Waldman died, never knowing who killed his wife. In 2022, family members questioned whether another high-profile murder suspect who was in the news might be involved and pushed police to continue investigating.
They kept saying that even though a cold case is never closed, we need new evidence to open it.
In 2023, NASA detectives told the siblings they finally had a full DNA profile thanks to assistance from the FBI. Several months later in 2024, the phone call they thought might never come.
We got a match. I just fell to the floor. Literally fell to the floor.
Nassau police now say they believe the killer was a man named Thomas Generazio. He died in 2004 at the age of 57. At the time of the murder, Newsday has confirmed he worked for the Oceanside Sanitation.
Oh, freaking sucks. Ugh. That's gotta hurt.
Department. We spoke with Generazio's former sister-in-law who told us,
it's done and over with. He's dead. What more is there to say?
I feel like it's a huge I've told you so for 50 years because of some people that doubted my father at all, even 1%, made it really hard for him, therefore making it hard for us.
At a Nassau police press conference, Marla, the oldest, told everyone this.
Today, 52 years later, I get to say to the world that our father, Jerry Waldman, is exonerated.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad he's gone too. But you know, part of me hurts for the family because you know they're never going to get a chance to see his face in a trial, and I know that that does nothing to the killer, but I don't know. As long as it brings them some sort of satisfaction, I guess that's all that matters. But um, I don't know. These people will never ever be the same. The father, their father had to die and not know any answers after being scrutinized for decades for a crime he'd never committed. So it sucks.
He was a victim, not a villain.
I feel happy. I feel happy for my mom that she got closure. It gives me a little closure.
So
it's Big Fish. Big Fish is in here. Always good to see Big Fish in here. Paula's going night. Okay, good night, Paula. Thank you so much. Paula, you're amazing. Sorry, I didn't see that earlier. Shit. Have a good night, Paula. We love you here. Check out Paula's site. She does great critiques of movies and shows and concerts and yeah, this is sad. This is a sad case. I feel so bad for these people right here. Just they never knew their mom. Literally never knew, you know. And then they had to live with this for the rest of their life. It's just sad. Sucks.
52 years after her murder on a freezing cold day in 2026, Barbara Waldman's children placed a card on their mother's grave from the detective who helped close the case.
And it says, to the living, we owe respect, but to the dead, we only owe the truth. And this is for Mom.
Put it on there.
Finding the truth. And we love you. And we love you.
Yep. Love you, Mom.
In West Babylon, I'm Shari Einhorn for Newsday TV.
So that's I just wanted to share that because it's very rare that they have these days, but there's more than there used to be. You know, people really don't realize how important some of the new technologies are. You know, just DNA in itself, testing for DNA. Back in '74, DNA was what the hell is that? You know, like. But there's other stuff too. Support with Steph is here. Hey, Steph, good to see you. Always good to see support with Steph here. That's cool they do their dad, though. That's for sure. Yes, absolutely. He's probably the reason why he lived. They're probably the reason why he lived, to be honest with you. Yes. I mean, I guess you got to move on. You know, you can't stay in the past for the rest of your life, but it's got to be brutally hell. It's good to see Steph in here. Sorry, Steph, I'm going to get out of here. I've been here too long. It's always good to see Steph in here, though. All right, so I'm going to get the hell out of here. You guys have been amazing tonight. I'll keep following some of the cases that I've been following. Big Fish, you're awesome. Thank you so much for coming in. Sorry, I got to get out of here. But like I said, I've been here 3.5 hours. And the cats, I got 6 cats that are begging me to feed them because they've been clawing up my leg here and knocking over my guitars here. It's just, whatever you do, don't have 6 cats and 2 dogs because it's not going to go well. Thank you, Les Haunted Camp. It's good to see you. Thank you so much. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Big Fish. We got Boston Christian's awesome. Thank you, Boston Christian, for coming in. Beasley, you're awesome. Thank you so much for coming in. Dieter, I hope you're well. Always good to see you here. Always good to see everybody. I know Southern Gal was in here. I know Paul is amazing. Paul is an amazing person. She's got a great channel. Awesome person. Heather, wherever you are, Heather Brown, I hope you're doing okay. I'll check the weather for you soon, and maybe I'll post something into my community. Chuck, thanks for coming in. Chuck's awesome. Charles has a good channel too, awesome channel. I'm not going to be able to say good night to everybody because there's no way I'm going to be able to scroll all the way up. Mustang, thank you so much. Mustang is awesome. But if I don't get to anybody, I apologize for that. Let's see here. Emerald Wonderland, thank you so much for coming in. Always appreciate new people coming in here, obviously. And everybody on the replay, everybody that watches replay, I know there's a lot of people that do. I truly appreciate everybody that watches the replay. Southern Gal was in here. Southern Gal's awesome. She's got a great channel. She's probably the best at this stuff here, especially on the missing stuff. FarQ, thank you so much. FarQ is awesome. Thank you, FarQ. Sorry, I'm going to be getting out of here. Feed the cats, sleep well, stay safe. Seems to be my credo. All right. All right, we're going to get out of here. Whatever you guys do, don't die. Okay. Rest in peace, Gail. All of my lives for the next however I'm on this planet. Gail Hurd, you'll always be part of this channel, here or not. All right, so I'm going to play my outro and I'm going to get out of here. See you guys next week. Have a great week. Stay safe. There's a lot of freaking crazy people out there, so stay safe. I'll see you guys later.